Okay, we're live. I can already see you guys in the comments. I just Vaselined my face. I feel shiny. I feel sparkly. Hmm. Let me pour a drink because y'all are already in the comments. As per my comment, I would just like to say in advance that y'all had some of the dustiest stories I have ever seen. Um, Welcome, Miss Charles. Nobody B. Um, Welcome. Here for the foolishness. Let the niggatry begin. Yes. Thank you. Um, Thank you, because it was some hummetry. That's what it was. Welcome, mistress. Welcome, Razan. Okay. First of all, my toilet is glowing. I don't like that. I'm about to go close that door. I don't know why my toilet is glowing. I have not used it recently. Let me play some waiting music as I close the door. Forgot how to turn the music off for a second. Welcome. Yes, my face is naked. Welcome, Yasmin. It is naked because Razan forced me to shave. So that's why it's naked. That's why it's naked. Why is your toilet glowing? Y'all are on the wrong. That is not the topic of the. That's not the topic of the day. The door is closed, and the people who weren't here for that weren't here. And y'all are bringing up old stuff when there's new people in here. What does this look? That's a good question. Let's figure out what it is. First, welcome everyone. Now that a few people are here, welcome. Secondly, I wanted to start, of course, with memes. But before that, I just wanted to say I'm not in the best mood. I've just found out some unfortunate news. Why are you dressed like Anton Ego? I don't know what that means. You should thank Razan. That is not my brand. We will not be seeing Babyface Petty because my brand is definitely a slight beard. That's what that is. But I found out some unfortunate news. My cousin, who I used to be best friends with growing up, I found out that the reason that he used to come over so much. I'm pouring the drink. I hope y'all don't hear that. That tastes nice. I just found out the reason he used to come over so much. Make sure to grab your drinks as well, wine preferably. Is because his parents, my aunt and uncle, is that glow or sweat? You look hot as hell. Why can't it be both? But my aunt and uncle, his parents, the reason that he used to always come over to my house wasn't because it wasn't because that we're best friends and stuff like that. It's because his parents wanted to teach him a lesson. Wanted to teach him a lesson because he's spoiled apparently, and they wanted to teach him humbleness. And he's sitting here talking to me like, after this visit, you know, I have a new appreciation for working AC and heat. And I'm like, I feel insulted. Like, excuse me, sir. We have fans for the summer and we have layers for winter, acting like we don't have AC and heat. We do have AC and heat. It works. We just don't use it because mom said that that's expensive. And she said if you're hot, then you take off a layer and you turn the fan on. And if you're cold, then you put a layer on and you turn the fan off. And this man talk about we don't have working water. You go out to the well. and dip the bucket in the water and bring it in the house. And that's the problem with this new generation. Y'all ain't never worked for nothing. Water tastes better when you work for it. That's all I'm gonna say. I felt a type of way. Welcome, Cultural Chica and Level Up Single Mom. So now that we got the hard part out of the way, we can go into the easy part. We can go into the memes. I have a lot to show you guys today. As always, we're going to try to decipher my humor, and we're going to figure out what we can learn from my humor and what it means. So let's see what it means, actually. Yeah, let's see what it means. Y'all tell me, what does this mean?
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
I don't know why I found this funny. They said his house looks lit. They said last night was a movie. They asked why the guy was just sitting there like that, and somebody said the dad was making sure it doesn't get out of hand. They said to check his hard drive. They said the guy behind him isn't his dad or anybody related to him, just some random man with the same interest. Yeah, I don't know why. But let's just watch one more again because I feel like it's important.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. I love it. I love it. That's our first meme of the day. Don't worry, we won't have to suffer through much. The next one is not a meme. It's just something I found and I laughed at. So it's a meme to me.
No, I love Paid in Full. It was so funny. He was like, I'm broke, baby. Like,
I love Paid in Full. That's my favorite movie in the world.
Exactly. You know they're making a musical.
They are making a musical. That's what
Yeah, they are.
Hey, can I get y'all plates?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know that's right, girl. You ate all your food.
Period. Okay.
Period. It's so many of them, man. It's so many of them in Atlanta. Like,
so many what? Waiters?
Nah, like gay people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like gay people. Like, you could be gay. Like, I don't have no problem with gay people, but like, put that over there. Like, why you gotta flaunt it? You know?
What?
Like, when I see them out here, like, living and existing, like, that really just, like, it triggers something in me. Like, I want to commit, like, a hate crime, you know? Like, why can't they just have their own, like, gays, like, city, neighborhood, like, quadrant? I just can't have one normal day. Just one. That they just be gay in that quadrant. And they don't bring that into the outside world, you know? And then in that gay neighborhood, what if somebody could just bomb it, you know? And then they won't exist no more. That's genocide. I'm not a homophobe or nothing, but I gotta go. I got to go. I gotta go. Bye. Where you going? Why you leaving?
I just found this funny because I feel like that's how it be actually. And I find funniness in the truth because it do be like that. You be having a normal conversation, somebody comes with the gay slur, and then you be like, wait, what happened? Why? He also said quadrant. It was women in the comments like, I've been on this exact date. This exact date. This is how my fam sounds, unfortunately. Aww. That's accurate. That sounds like Jamie. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that, but it does sound like Jamie, actually. This next one you guys have probably already seen, but you can see it again.
I can say this, and y'all gonna laugh at me.
I'm not gonna laugh at you. I promise you, we're not gonna laugh.
Mm-mm. When I grew up, right, and I remember.
No, I'm not laughing at you.
I can say this, and y'all gonna laugh at me.
I'm not gonna laugh at you. I promise you, we're not gonna laugh.
When I grew up, right, and I remember.
No, I'm not laughing at you.
We're not gonna laugh at you. Why do people play in your face? I just need to understand why people play. It's the fact that everybody said, why do I look like I'm trying to steal y'all's social security number? If y'all want to send it to me on Discord, you can. Don't send me your social security. I can't do anything with that. Send me some credit card info. That's what I need. And they didn't even let him get it out. No, let's look at this one more time.
I can say this, and y'all gonna laugh at me.
I'm not gonna laugh at you. I promise you, we're not gonna laugh.
When I grew up, right, and I remember.
No, I'm not laughing at you.
And now he's gonna try and explain it, and he can't stop himself from laughing as he's explaining it. As he's explaining it, laughing at me. This, like, I feel insulted and I wasn't even there. I don't know. I've seen him on the Breakfast Club before. I don't know why he keeps going. I don't know why he keeps going. Let's continue. Let's continue. We only have a couple more, guys. We only have a couple more.
Say this to whoever's watching.
Endure.
Let me say this to whoever's watching. Here in America, we have a principle called freedom of speech. Freedom of speech means that everybody gets to...
Freedom of speech means the government doesn't get involved.
Because I'm not asking you what freedom of speech is, okay?
It's like rain.
Oh, I think that might be copyright. Okay, I think the rest of his video has copyrighted music in it, but I found this funny for obvious reasons. It feels like it was freedom of speech for a little bit, and then like the other people were saying stuff, and freedom of speech was like no longer a thing. I just found that funny. This is our final meme for the day, and then we can get into the topic.
Spot in the Columbusing Hall of Fame. A white woman may have secured her spot in the Columbusing Hall of Fame after claiming that she invented an accessory used by black women ever since the beginning of time. In an article with Fashion Magazine, entrepreneur Sarah Marantz Lindenberg claims she came up with the idea of a washable silk head wrap that prevents breakouts and preserves hairstyles. My concept came out of a problem that needed solving, explained Marantz, who founded the company, Nightcap, to sell her so-called invention that was already being used by millions of black women every day. It inspired me to create something of my own. What she created was basically a version of the same head wrap that was invented by Madam C.J. Walker in 1906. And the only difference between Lindenberg's bonnet and the one worn by black women who have been on a natural hair journey is that Lindenberg sells her bonnets for $98 to white people. But Lindenberg's bonnet is different. First of all, it's organic, which means, okay, I don't know what the hell that means. I thought all silk was organic. But maybe Becky the bonnet maker knows about a secret Monsanto robot silkworm experiment. Or perhaps she is part of a plot to start a transatlantic silkworm trade. I bet Sarah is a silk supremacist. Lindenberg does, however, offer a few uses for her head wrap that black women have probably never thought of, including wearing them to the gym, stopping her hair from curling at night due to night sweats, and, I swear this is true, supporting the regrowth of all the little baby hairs she had. Edges, Sarah. They are called edges. And of course, the black community didn't have it, and rightly so. That said, the fact a white woman is claiming she invented bonnets will forever be the joke of the decade. What else have white people invented?
A white woman has invented the nightcap. It's made of silk. You can use it to protect your hair. She said she saw that there was a need for this to be created, and so she created it herself. Let me see when this was invented. When was the nightcap invented? 2019. 2019. Truly revolutionary. So I just understand, as someone in the Black community who has nothing to put on my head to keep it from, breakage or to keep moisture inside or anything like that. Now I have an invention that I can use for only $98. So let's see what the comments are saying. I'm watching this in my silk bonnet as we speak. Me watching this, looking through my collection for silk bonnets. I'm watching this with a silk bonnet on. I have a picture of me in a silk wrap that was taken 40 years ago. Me wearing my silk braid bonnet that I bought for $8. Okay, so we kind of understand what the comments are looking like. I just thought that was interesting and funny. Thank goodness. Yes, like what was I going to do? Thank goodness she invented it. Yes. We're saved. Okay, I'm gonna play my intro. We can get into the topic. Today we're going to talk about relationships. Oh, why? Thank you for asking. The reason we're talking about relationships is because of something I heard, something we all heard in my last live stream where we looked at the other content creator. And it's something I hear a good deal. And he said that modern dating has been ruined by dating apps. And obviously, Tinder is not the only problem in dating, right? But he, and I feel like a lot of men, share the sentiment that dating apps have a significant negative impact on modern dating. I, of course, strongly disagree with this. Not only do I think dating apps are good for women, but I also think they're good for men in some ways. Before we get into that claim, I wanted to kind of do some framing through TikTok. Because my news feed, I don't know why, but my news feed is filled with degeneracy every day. I have no idea why. I'm not a degenerate person. So why is my news feed like that? I don't know. But I see some mess in my news feed every day. So I thought that we could look at the mess together. And after we go through a couple of these, we're going to go into what you guys sent me directly because I have questions. I am going to drop the link when we start reviewing your dating stories that you guys sent because I have questions. And I think the best way to answer those questions is to ask you directly. So be sure to look out for that. Okay, now that I'm looking at this again, I feel like it's a skit. Wait, let me go back. Why does this lady over here just have her camera out the whole time? Even after rejection, you all in their face. But I'm happy for it because that means there's another angle out here somewhere. And we're going to find that eventually, but not today. So why did I just show this woman rejecting this man? Because I'm a person who can't stay out of the comments. It's true. I have a problem. And I think that I'm better than you all because I admit that I have a problem. I have a problem going into the comments. Y'all probably go into the comments, but y'all don't admit y'all have a problem. I feel like that's dishonest. I'm being honest in saying I have a problem. But I went in the comments and I found some interesting things. The caption says something like, "It's a cruel world," which I guess they're saying it's a cruel world because she rejected him in front of people. And in my mind, I feel like you should ask your partner how they feel about public proposals. or whether or not they want to get married to you, what their timeline is. I feel like you should discuss that before pulling something like this, because some people have social anxiety. The comments are the best part. Thank you. Can't stay out the comments. Thank you. This is why I'm for asking in private. Yes. Romance is just confusion and ambiguity disguised as spontaneity. Spontaneity. Got it. So I feel like some people have social anxiety. Some people don't want to be the center of attention. Some people find it embarrassing or humiliating to be made a public spectacle, regardless of your intentions, right? So more important than the caption, though, I think is the comments from mostly men, which I will put on screen. Let me make them bigger again. Hopefully you guys can, let me see if I can maximize. TikTok is so petty, but the comments were concerning to me, I guess. Again, it was for mostly men, and they were saying some things like, and I'm quoting them directly, uppercut of a lifetime, which, let me see, it looks like some comments of a similar format. First, I think it's important to note that these are some of the most liked comments on this video. One of them is the top comment. Oh, excuse me, was the top comment. It's not anymore, but it was when I looked at it yesterday. The top comment was uppercut. And if you're unaware of what uppercut means in this context, let me put this on the screen for even further context. This is from S Great on Twitter. If I ever get on my knees and ask a female to marry me, she better say yes, because that uppercut gonna be crazy coming from the floor up. So that's the context that I found when I was trying to figure out what does uppercut mean? What does uppercut mean? Apparently, first of all, this has nearly 8,000 retweets and more than 25,000 likes, which I think is concerning. That's a lot of people. But I take this as like it's actually quite a popular idea amongst men that if a woman rejects your marriage proposal, you can use the opportunity to physically assault her. And if you guys remember one of my streams months ago, when we were looking up, when we were looking into some data, what we learned is that men tend to get physical or aggressive or violent when they're rejected. And the research indicates that this seems to be because there's a perceived threat to their masculinity. So they begin to like insult the woman who rejected them or threaten her, or worst case scenario, get violent and possibly unalive somebody. So the idea that a man will be violent towards you, mind you, this is the situation we just looked at with the proposal is like after he has kind of forced you into this public setting of a proposal where you may feel pressured to say yes, and then he gets upset at you if he doesn't say yes, and that anger turns into physical violence. This actually isn't too far from the research that we looked into. So the idea that people are literally coming to uppercut, assault you because you rejected them, that seems in line with the research that we already did. Hello. You were in the background. Okay, thanks. I guess she had nothing to say. It's fine. So where were we? I also wanted to cover some of the comments. If you propose to someone publicly without being 100% certain they'll accept, you should uppercut yourself. Yeah. So he already dehumanizes women, and then his first reaction is violence. I mean, again, that feels in line with the research that I've already done and that we looked at on stream. So I'm not surprised. I am shocked, and I think this is horrible, but I'm not surprised, I think, in the way that I would be surprised like months ago. At this point, it feels in line with what I expect. I also wanted to go over some of the comments asking, Why didn't she say yes? One specific comment that I saw is, let's find it. Let's make it big again. Why would a woman, grammar. Why would a woman say no if they've been dating? Actually, let me make that a poll in the comments. I want to see what you guys would say. You know what? I can't make it a, why would a women, plural, say no if they've been dating? Okay, you guys can answer that in the comments, and let me see what y'all have to say to that. Why would a woman say no if they've been dating? While you guys come up with your ideas, let's look at what some of the ideas from the Schmins were. Simple, she has options. Someone else says she's cheating on him. Someone else says she thinks she has options. The options she thinks she has will just play her. So say yes, the move, and immediately go ghost him. Oh, then move. Say yes, then move, and immediately go ghost him. I'm not saying yes. I need you to be publicly embarrassed, because I'm embarrassed. If you propose to me in public knowing that you didn't ask me about a do I want to get married, or how do I want to get married, or if I'm okay with public proposal, you signed up for some consequences. That's what I feel like. But where's the comment that I want to go through? Maybe I should have just screenshotted them instead of going through them. But it's fine, because there was a woman who said, wrong. My friend, maybe he did this as a band-aid to patch up something, but she's not following. Oh, this one, Sharkiana. So she says maybe he does this as like a dangling carrot, where maybe I did something wrong, but I can kind of sucker you back into me by using this. A man replied to her and said, another one here trying to defend her gender. I'm confused because I'm not sure. Number one, I'm not sure what the woman in the video needs a defense for. I mean, I understand the comments are attacking her, so I know why this woman may have felt the need to be on the defense. But number one, I feel like she was simply offering an explanation for why the rejection might have happened. She says maybe he's trying to use it as a band-aid. Number two, I'm not sure why the men are attacking the lady in the video in the first place. She didn't do anything wrong. It's not a crime or even morally wrong or a bad thing for a woman to say no to your advances, even if you already have an established relationship. Now, I lied just a couple seconds ago when I said I don't know why the men are attacking her. I do know. I think they feel rejected. They saw the man in the video get rejected, and they all internalized that. They see themselves in him, which is why they feel the need to attack her on his behalf, even threatening to assault her, right, with the uppercuts. But then to go back to what they said to explain why she rejected him, look at what the men are saying. They're saying that she's clearly cheating. Not only is she cheating, but she has options, and she's probably for the streets and stuff like that. Me personally, I think that they're projecting, and the reason that they think she's cheating is because this is what they would be doing if their partner wanted to get married, but they didn't. And then there are, of course, comments saying that this is an evil world we live in. And again, in my mind, I would be saying it's an evil world we live in because there are threats to assault the woman in the video because she said no. But no, her saying no is the evil in the world. The rejection is the evil in the world. I just thought that was weird. And then there was one comment specifically that interested me. Let me see if I can find it. It says something like time to hit the gym. I think it says welcome to gym, big bro. And I just have a personal theory that when men face like a heartbreak or a other type of trauma, instead of addressing that with like self-reflection or with therapy or counseling, journaling, introspect, or something like that, where it feels like a healthy means to work through your problems and find healthy solutions to them, your mental and emotional problems, right? Or trauma. Instead of that, they decide to get physically stronger. I'm not sure why. I don't know why the solution for a lot of guys feels like, okay, I just had a negative experience. I need to increase my ability to do violence. I don't know why. Maybe it's for those uppercuts. I don't know, but I'm not a fan of it. I don't think the gym will fix your issues. And I guess the gym can be a healthy outlet, but not a substitute for self-work. So where is the comment I'm looking for? There was one comment that said, "This is how villains are born." I can't find it anymore. But there was a comment that said, "This is how the day of there it is. The day a villain was born." Eyes. I'll get them checked out. And I think men also tend to use rejection as a justification to do bad things to you or to other people, to you, the rejecter, or to maybe people in their immediate environment. And there's also a reoccurring thing that I see just generally with stuff we cover, where it feels like the reason that men will commit an evil act is because of a woman who hurt them or something like that. And then there is one more. There's one more, and I felt like it was really weird. If I can just find it. Man, that uppercut from that angle would have been a thing of beauty, form impeccable. That's what Jarius Ruiz says, Almighty J69. So he was banned at 500K and he needs help getting back. So apparently this is a different account. No idea why someone like him was banned, but he's back. Some more comments on uppercutting. I'm looking for a comment that I saw specifically that said, "How can she wear weave and say no?" And they said the audacity that she has to wear a weave and say no. And I was really confused. I was actually really confused. I wish I had a screenshot of all the comments because I feel like people deleted them. But again, I feel like this goes back to the research we looked at in the other live stream, where if you reject a man, he will insult you, and he could potentially take that a step further, like the men in these comments, and resort to violence. If you recall the scenario in my story that my friend told me that I will tell you guys over and over again, she was at a gas station. She was pumping gas. A man walked up to her, pulled up to her, the other side of the pump. If y'all know how a gas pump works, he pulled up to the other side. And he told her she looked beautiful, in the usual, "Baby girl, you too pretty to be pumping your own gas," right? Charming. He has a way with words, truly. And she says, "Thank you, but I have a boyfriend." And then he switches up and he's like, "F you, B, you ugly anyway. You think somebody wants your ugly ass?" And it's like, cool. One thing that men are gonna do, I feel like, is prove us right. So she can't reject you because she has a weave, but she just did. So congratulations. You just learned your place on the totem pole. Let me go through some of your comments before I look at the last thing. There are minor issues that can become a big one if not addressed before marriage. Yeah, not every woman's goal is marriage. True. Hello, Kenny. You did not miss the dating stories. They are coming up after this. I'm trying to stretch this. I don't have to stretch it because we have more to go through. I want to do sort of a framing before we get into your personal experiences, because I need to understand what is making modern dating terrible for men and women, because a lot of people are saying it's feminism in dating apps. So I'm looking for the feminism in dating apps, and I just wanted to go through a few videos with you guys to see if we can find them. So no, you didn't miss it yet. I'm hoping to cover it at the hour mark. And I'm going to open the panel so y'all can come up and explain to me some stuff. How dare she make a choice of her own? How dare she? The first guy I asked only did it because he knew I was breaking up with him. Oof. She needs a defense for daring to exercise autonomy and personhood. That's what it feels like. So we're all on one accord in the comments. We're all on one accord. Kenny hopped off the family Zoom call early to get here. Let me find out y'all are rushing to me. Okay, I'm not going to do that no more. That didn't look pretty. And then there was one last comment that said, at least take the ring and tell him privately so as not to embarrass him like that. And again, I feel like a lot of men can't handle the truth. I feel like you need to sugarcoat things and pat them on the back and spare their ego. I remember watching several videos from a couple in my For You. And there was a man, and he was talking about, I remember they were recalling a date that they went on. It was like a double date that they went on with a separate married couple. And he was supposed to be paying for everything. I don't know why. I can't remember why, but he was like, I couldn't afford dinner and I was so scared. And my wife, she noticed the stress on my face and she gave me her card so that I could pay for the date and still be the man in front of our friends. And so I'm sitting here like, okay, so y'all are cosplaying. You don't have money, but you're pretending you do so you can look quote unquote manly without having the actual parts that you need to be the image that you want to look like. And you're willing to do that off of the back of your wife. And she's right there with you. So you know what? Hey, I don't talk down on people's relationships. As long as they're happy, we're happy. We're all happy here over at Prince.petti. So that's enough of the first video. I didn't see feminism in that video. Maybe it was present. Maybe feminism gave her the autonomy to reject his proposal, and that's what's ruining modern dating, that she can reject him. Maybe. I didn't see the feminism and I didn't see the dating app. Oh, you know what? We were going to watch this video. Maybe you guys can tell by the thumbnail, but Bourbon Bougie actually just put a video out this morning. I just watched it. So we're going to look at that instead. I'll save that for the end. But we'll go back to that because we got to go back to that. I just thought it was interesting. But that had to do with there was a prank. A guy did a prank on his girlfriend, and I feel like the prank was a little humiliating, and I feel like they tend to be, and I feel like that's a theme. So I wanted to look at that. But before we do, some more news. He was mad my friend complimented his girlfriend.
Melon.
You don't know what melon is.
Thank you.
He said melatonin.
Hey, Google it. Google it.
Melon? That's a watermelon.
Google it.
Melatonin is color.
Google it, baby.
Melatonin is sleeping melon.
Well, go to sleep. Take it to go to sleep.
That baby got to go do better than that. Now, if you're going to be smart at it, you got to know your word. And melatonin for sleeping. Look up melatonin. And you ain't got no be no argument with no woman.
Go argue with a woman.
Don't argue. It's all right. Have a better day, sir. I'm sorry I messed your day up. But you have a good day. I'm sorry I messed your day up. Don't be worried. Don't be worried about it. I don't want your woman. I don't want your woman. Well, good. Here we go. You gotta go. You got somewhere to go?
I wouldn't give a damn if you did want her. She don't want you.
I don't want you either. You mad because nobody compliment you?
No, baby. No, I'm not.
Okay, well, hush. All right, well, let her get her compliment in peace. Let her get a compliment in peace. You mad that that woman get a compliment? Do better so you can get one. Do better so you can get one. She look nice and friendly, so I spoke to her. All right. You look mean and certain. So I didn't speak to you. Hell, you look mean.
Wait, are they at the Juicy Crab? I want to go so bad. Never mind. Sorry. Sorry.
Certain, so I didn't speak to you. What's wrong with that?
Okay. He seems to be upset that his wife received a compliment, or his girlfriend. I hope girlfriend. I really hope this is like a first date. I really hope so. Received a compliment from the woman in the foreground here. And so they started arguing. I guess he didn't feel pretty I don't know. I really don't know. This is all the context that I have for this video. Look at the waitress just walking by smiling. Everybody just in everybody's business. That's why I feel like it's the South. And it has to be because that says the juicy something. And I feel like it's the Juicy Crab. And I feel like that's a restaurant I heard about in Atlanta, but I'm about to Google it right now. Ew. I don't want crab from Texas. Anyway, sorry. Let me not slander Texans. But yeah, it's a restaurant in Atlanta. I'd love to try it. But I want to point out that it felt like she was still being polite. She was still being polite. She was like, sorry, sir, I hope you have a blessed day and stuff like this. I was just complimenting your wife. This feels like a wild argument to have in the first place. His date is so embarrassed. They better not go on a second date. I hope they're not married. I really don't. Melanin margarine. I don't know what that is. Let the woman eat her crab in peace. I don't understand why he was mad that she received a compliment if the caption of this video is true. Let me see some of the comments. Sisters compliment each other. Sir, don't be jealous. And that's what it feels like. He's jealous. And there was a line, it feels like, where he was in there like, she don't want you anyway. So maybe he thinks that they're gay and that they want to take, they want to come and take his girl. Now, me personally, I feel very secure. And if my person walks away from me for the person who's behind me in the booth at the Juicy Crab, I feel like I should probably just let that person go instead of arguing with the people behind me. Or I should just be like, wait, they just complimented the person I'm with. The person I'm with is beautiful. Obviously, I must think so. We're on a date together. I hope y'all only date people who y'all think are attractive. I hope so. So why am I upset at someone else for seeing what I see in my wife or girlfriend? Can you replay the beginning? Yeah, let me hit a refresh.
Melon.
You don't know what melon is.
Thank you.
I ain't never heard no melon.
He said melatonin.
Hey, Google it. Google it.
Melon? That's a watermelon.
Google it.
Melatonin is color.
Google it.
Melatonin is sleeping melon.
Well, go to sleep. Take it to go to sleep.
That baby got to go do better than that. Now, if you're going to be smart in it, you got to know your word.
Thank you. This is I was going to bring this up later in the stream. I didn't realize this was in this video. If you're going to get smart with me, why are you dumb? That don't make sense to me. You don't even know the language you're using and you want to be uppity towards me. That's something I hate the most. I hate someone who's matter of fact and they have the matter of fact wrong. I hate a matter of fact person who comes with matter of opinion. I hate that so much. Thank you.
Melatonin for sleeping. Look up melatonin. And you ain't got no thing to argue with no woman.
Go argue with a woman.
Don't argue. It's all right. Have a better day, sir. I'm sorry I messed your day up. But you have a good day. I'm sorry I messed your day up. Don't be worried. Don't be worried about it. I don't want your woman. I don't want your woman. Well, good. Good. We'll go. You gotta go. You got somewhere to go?
I wouldn't give a damn if you did want her. She don't want you.
I don't want you either. You mad because nobody compliment you?
No, baby. No, I'm not.
Okay, well, hush. All right, well, let her get her compliment in peace. Let her get her compliment in peace. You mad that that woman get a compliment? Do better so you can get one. Do better so you
do better so you can get one. Sir, you could have received a compliment if you had have just done better. Like the woman that you're sitting at the table with. Maybe if you looked attractive, if you put effort into being attractive in the way that your date did, you might get that same type timing. So what I don't understand is why people are upset when the people who put in the effort get the compliment. That's what I don't understand. I'm glad y'all told me to replay the beginning. I played the whole thing, but it's fine. So that was video number 2. Let's go to video number 3.
Is it gonna be one check or 2 checks?
Am I getting lucky tonight?
Not at all.
2
2
checks.
checks. Is it gonna be 1 check or 2 checks?
Am I getting lucky tonight?
Not at all.
2 checks.
Hello, the other MJ. Just for anyone who's coming in, we haven't gone through the personal dating stories yet. We're about to get to it. We're going through our last couple of videos because I just want to see what's going on in modern dating right now, just broadly. I just select 6 random clips and I just want to see what's happening out here. But welcome. So the caption of this, he seems dangerous. Like, I didn't even think about it like that. But if this is the way he's acting with random people who just complimented your date, how are you acting with your date behind closed doors is what I want to know, of course. And how are you acting in a more private setting if this is how you act in public? Absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe his wife or girlfriend is bi and he's on edge for no reason. Insecurity is a heck of a drug. In the juicy crab. I hope it's the juicy crab. I hope they're at least eating good, going through all that. So the caption says, bet she learned next time, as well as he's the real MVP. He's a savage. Got him, and say it with your chest. Let me play it one more time before I go into the comments.
Is it gonna be 1 check or 2 checks?
Am I getting lucky tonight?
Not at all.
2 checks.
Okay, so it says, bet she learned next time. He asked her, am I getting lucky tonight? She says no. So he says, okay, well, I'm not paying for the dinner anymore. Got it. We're not doing super deep analysis right now. I just wanted to kind of see what's going on in these dating streets. Let's see what some of the comments say. I wouldn't mind 2 checks after that comment because now I know you only took me out for some kitty cat. Wasn't trying to get to know me for real. And I make my own money, so I wouldn't even stress it. Yeah, it does feel kind of disrespectful to ask somebody for some cooter cat. That's what my grandpa calls it. I don't like it, but hey, cooter cat at the end of the day. Like, it feels rude and insulting. And in my mind, maybe you would have gotten some cooter cat if you hadn't have asked a disrespectful question at the dinner table, because now it feels like the only reason that you took me out was to get some. So I feel like that would change anybody's mood at the dinner table. So definitely not a real man. Too busy worrying about getting his rocks off. Pretty sure the reason why she said no is because he either kept asking or it's probably the second date. I feel like it's the first date. Homeboy lame for that. She could tell it was an ultimatum. I want my daughter to respond just like that, though. Good job, miss. He thought that if he paid, he was getting lucky. Girl, gladly you pay your own and lose his number. I feel like there's this desire to be like this big own and this big gotcha, haha. Even the caption of the video is like, bet she learns next time. And it's like, I want to stick it to her. And apparently he posted this to the wrong audience because all the women was in his comments like, anyway, next. So I feel like this definitely does represent a lot of what I hear about in dating, where guys are like, if you don't put out on the first date, then you can pay for your own. And then the girl's like, okay, I'll pay for my own. And then you're blocked. And then you go on to Fresh and Fit and say all women want is my money or something. I don't know. Or modern women, this or that. I have no idea. So I have no idea. Now we are down to our final 2. I just closed the tab by accident. It's okay. I'll pull it back up. Be sure to like the stream if you haven't already. Okay. The next piece of evidence.
Are you not gonna help me take this inside?
Nah, I'm in the friend zone.
Are you not gonna walk on the outside so I don't get hit by a car?
What? I'm in the friend zone.
Are you not gonna open the door for me?
Shit, I'm in the friend zone.
Some pineapple survive. Some shots. $34.99.
Hell no, I'm in the friend zone, man. You better get some Coke. Shit, how much for these chocolates?
I don't have any money on my card. You think you could? I'm gonna find it for the train.
Oh, hell no, I'm in the friend zone. To go where? New York.
Okay, so it looks like he's in the quote unquote friend zone. I don't know if we've talked about the friend zone before on this channel. I don't think it exists in the way that men describe it. I think it exists as something that you place yourself into. It's kind of a mental state. It's like delulu. I think that's the word, the real delulu. That's what the kids say these days. That nignog is not nignog. What is that? I've never heard that before. Is not even an acquaintance at that point. Yeah, you're not even an acquaintance. Like I go over to my to one of my male friends' home, and he's like, "Can you help me move that chair?" And I'm like, "Whoa, buddy, we're just friends. We're not in a relationship or anything here." I just feel like this is weird. Let's see how the comments feel. Also, the white woman on the left adding absolutely nothing to the video. Let's see what some of the comments said. One of the women said, "Oops, I totally do those things for my gal pals. Am I simping? Oh no, I also will hold the door for dudes and women. Is that bizarre? I always saw it as a sign that you're acknowledging another human's existence more than a flirt or whatevs." That's how I feel. One of the men said that's simping. Okay. Holding the door open and helping your friends out is like simping. If you do this for someone walking in the door behind you, that's simping. Cool, that's simping. Now we know what simping is. Okay, so I actually don't feel bad when people call me a simp because I feel like it's just being a decent human being. I feel like it's just being a decent human being. So I'm not going to go through the rest of the comments because the men seem upset. The men seem upset. I don't know why. Wait, I didn't get to read it in time. Let me reset it. Okay. So this woman, apparently she marked, I think there's music, so I'm not going to play it, but apparently she wanted to see if her boyfriend cleans himself. So she put some red marks around the bathroom. Why are you dressed like this? Come on, guys. We're 52 minutes in. I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point. I just left the funeral, guys. The old me is dead, and we buried him. Okay, I won't be joking anymore. I apologize. If you need vagina donations to hold a door, you're in the ghost zone. I don't know what that is, but it might be, he might be in there with Danny Phantom. They might be in there together. But she wanted to see if her boyfriend cleans himself with soap. She marked underneath the soap, underneath the hair wash, underneath his body scrubber. Let's see.
Yeah, why for me?
Do you wash your body?
Yes. Why?
Okay, let's see.
No, what are you doing? What? I didn't use that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use that either.
Mm-hmm.
What?
What did you use?
The water.
You didn't use any soap.
I used the water. Why
you need to use soap. How did you wash your ass?
With water.
Did you shower?
Yeah, why for me?
Do you wash your body?
Yes. Why?
Okay, let's see.
No, what are you doing? What? I didn't use that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use that either.
Mm-hmm.
What?
What did you use?
The water.
You didn't use any soap.
I used the water. Why
You need to
touching
use soap. How did you wash your ass?
with water?
Okay. So he has washed himself with water. They're having sex, though, through a sheep like Mormons. I hope so. I don't think so, though. I'm going to keep bringing this up over and over again because I just read one of many studies regarding male cleanliness. This one focused on bed sheets, and it was in the UK. And almost half, here, I'll put the article on screen actually. Almost half, 45% of the UK single men admitted they wait up to 4 months to wash their bed sheets, while another 12% said they wash them as and when they remember, which could be even longer. Unsurprisingly, their bedding was changed more often once they were in a relationship, most likely because women perform the majority of household chores, according to a poll from Gallup. The gross and concerning findings were originally shared by bedding realtor Pizuna, who commissioned the survey in April last year. However, they were recently republished by the BBC, which called for single men to ditch the shocking habit in 2023. Is it really shocking? 4 months. Yes, Riyadh, 4 months. 4 months. This is just bed sheets. There were more things that we won't go through. This is a white people thing. I'm not about to let y'all, the black community doesn't escape this. The black community does not escape this. Well, maybe we can, I can't imagine any N-words doing this. I don't think black men in the UK, this was a study in the UK, maybe it's different. I don't think that when it comes to cleanliness, I don't know that there is a distinction between race. I can actually look into that, so I won't dismiss the claim. I just don't know if it's true or false. But I don't think I would make a distinction. I've heard before that the body naturally cleans itself, and all you need to do is rinse it. I've heard that before. So you just have on 75 layers of deodorant. You haven't used a drop of soap, and it's all just layered on there more and more and more. I feel like if you step into the shower and you feel like water is just going to clean, I feel like if you actually get in there and scrub, I feel like you could probably take a butter knife and cut layers of just grime and dirt and old everything, just scrub it off. That's how I feel. Let's see. The gross and concerning findings, already read that. As a result, social media erupted in disgust as many women pointed out, maybe that's why they're single? ? Huge red flag, I'd rather stay single, one lamented. How about home economic classes for men so women don't have to educate them? Division of labor is still an issue, another raged. One scoffed, so you recommend dating men with a partner to be sure that sheets will be clean? Listen, ladies, go out and find a man with a partner because she's changing his sheets and making sure that he washes with soap. That's what I recommend. Never mind, let me not give advice. That's actually terrible advice. Don't do that. Many men made light of the findings in the comments, teasing that the study was single-handedly shaming them, while others joked that they got longer with certain tricks. I get 8 months, actually. Just flip it over and it's brand new. Saves on water and electricity. Just doing my part for the planet. You can get another 4 months if you turn it inside and out, another one said. One went as far as to state, when I was single, once a month. These days, my missus does the job. However, the jovial attitude angered women even more, with some stating it highlighted common issues in heterosexual relationships. Notice the men's comments are deflect, jokes, and some other nonsense. Go Google how to be a grown adult, please. I think this is actually interesting. So the men felt like they were being shamed because they reported themselves that they don't change their bed sheets, and people are saying this is a disgusting habit, so they feel like they're being shamed. I feel like we're just saying this is a disgusting habit, The chances of a white man being musty are higher. That's all. Look, I've seen too many. Let me see the Mario Bros haircut. If I can pull up a picture of this. Oh my God. Wait, what is it called? Is it called the musty haircut? If I could just see. Is it called the Nintendo haircut? What is this haircut? I'm looking for something specifically. I need to see it. I can't find what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, I can't find what I'm looking for. And that's unfortunate because I really need to show you all. Why are they putting photogenic people? That's not what I need. I need to see what I need to see. I can't find what I need to see. But just imagine the guy who plays a lot of video games and does not know what deodorant is. Just imagine that haircut. I'm sure you can all see it, even though I can't put it on screen. I can't find it, so it's fine. Didn't we just teach the nation how to wash their hands like 2 years ago? I read somewhere that Black women were teaching white women how to wash and do stuff back in the days of slavery. I wouldn't be surprised. Miri Sparkles, welcome. Hi. We're at the hour mark, so we're going to quickly close this framing portion. Put meme at the end. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny is here. I'm glad we ended the beef. Here we go. Let me see if I can find this haircut. It's very urgent. Okay. So here's what we have. I feel like you can smell the person who this hair belongs to. We're not making fun of the hairstyle. We're just making fun of the person who's attached to it because we know what it smells like. I feel like we know what it smells like. I wish I could find. I actually don't want to put these people on screen. I feel like I'm bullying. I found one that's much better. Oh my God. Oh no. I'm sorry. I can't put these on screen. Let's go back to the study. I apologize. These clowns will die single because they don't have the self-awareness needed to understand the toilet isn't going to flush itself. What's wrong with so many men? Seems like plenty don't follow basic hygiene, from simply washing hands after using the toilet to this. Let me Google men washing hands. All right. Well, we already have enough disgusting facts for today. We don't need to put that on screen, but washing hands isn't much better. Just know that. Even the guys got in on calling out the habit, labeling it disgusting and dirty. Come on, guys, once every week at least. Another guy said, not me, there's no excuse from this. As one said, do better, guys, this is filthy behavior. The study determined women fared much better at changing their sheets more regularly, with 62% cleaning their bedding every 2 weeks, and couples claiming to do it every 3 weeks. According to experts, I feel like the experts own the bed sheets and they sell the bed sheets. We need to be washing our sheets every week, as dead skin cells and body oils accumulate quickly, which can attract dust mites and more, especially if you're leaving your sheets for 4 months at a time. Disgusting. Now let's go back to the video that made me show that research.
Did you shower?
Yeah, why? Feel me?
Did you wash your body?
Yes. Why?
Okay, let's see.
No, what are you doing? What? I didn't use that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use that either.
Mm-hmm.
What?
What did you use?
The water.
You didn't use any soap.
I used the water. Why
You need to use soap. How did you wash your ass?
With water.
With water. I used the water. Babe, I used water. We'll see what some of the comments says. How are you going to shame your partner like that? You could have a conversation in private. Wow. He was musty in public. Why do I have to I'm sorry. Aside from that, this is actually his profile. I'm hoping this is like a meme. I'm hoping this is a meme because this is his profile that he posted it from. But in my mind, I feel like I'm not going to have a conversation with my partner. I'm going to leave. I do think it's important to communicate and to express your expectations in a relationship and to express when you don't like something and give your partner a chance to correct. But I'm not about to teach you how to wipe your ass. Excuse me. So again, we're just looking for feminism and we're looking for dating apps because that's what people are saying is ruining dating. Women's standards too high because of feminism, and dating apps giving women too many options so they don't have to lower their standard. I feel like if the standard is here with bed sheets once every 4 months, I don't feel like it should get lower. I don't feel like it should get lower. Now let's pull up Bourbon Bougie because she actually she didn't steal it, but she put out a video today on something that I wanted to cover in one of these videos. We skipped it so that we could look at what she has to say. I'm not going to play the whole thing because I feel like if y'all want Bourbon Bougie, y'all should go and give her views and likes and shares and follows. So I'm just going to play a little teaser.
Watch these next two videos from the content creator Shonda. They are supposed to be pranks, but what these men do to their spouses, their loved ones, their significant others, and their pranks, it just shows that how can there be love when there is humiliation? Like, I felt so hurt for these women as I watched these supposed pranks. Their humor, it is hurtful, and I don't see how.
Let me see.
Me for my words at the back end.
Just want to make sure this is perfect.
What?
All right.
What?
All right. The surprise is behind you, but don't look. You can turn around in 3, 2, 1. All right.
Close my eyes.
No.
Okay.
All right.
What is it?
Okay.
What is it?
All right. Just turn around. Just go for it.
What? What'd you do? Oh my God! No, Joe. Why did you do that?
I did this because you keep leaving your stuff out and a mess.
Oh no!
And I'm done with it.
No, no. Why would you do this? I think you can't.
What kind of noise was that?
This is safe.
It's bad that this grown man feels that it's necessary to teach his girlfriend a lesson like she's a small child about leaving her makeup out. But what's even worse is him trying to force her to pretend to be happy about it. He went out of his way to destroy something that was special to her, that she cherished, that she loved, that she enjoyed, because he didn't like it. What makes him think, I'm going to replace it? Makes that okay that he did that? Because my whole thing is some makeup is rare. Some makeup is limited edition that you can't get back. And it's expensive. Like, it took her time. She probably has memories associated with certain things. Certain palettes come out for certain times. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. He knew that she loved it and that she enjoyed it. And he went out of his way to destroy it because he didn't like it. And his mannerism.
Let's pause. I forgot I'm only supposed to be doing teasers. So let me go to the next one and then we can come back.
They break your heart.
Any final words?
That I love you more than anything in this world.
So what did this man do, you ask? He tattooed one of the most vile things you can tattoo on a human being. But he loves her. So it's okay, right? Let's see what he did.
Europe. And that's on my leg.
Hey, I'm sorry.
This reminds me so much of the video that I posted a couple of weeks ago of the boyfriend destroying his girlfriend's makeup. And as soon as she discovered it, he had "I love you" written on the mirror. And the first thing he said was, "I love you."
What'd you do? Oh my God. No.
Those words are hollow and they're immediately followed by things that.
Let me pause. Georgia Mad Fudge. Makeup is so effing expensive. Let me tell y'all something, because I was dating someone. This was like years ago. They wanted me to take them to Sephora so I could get them some makeup. And in my mind, makeup is like $10. Like, oh, you want some foundation, $10. You want some lipstick, $10. You want some eyelashes, $10. I feel like everything is $10. What I didn't know is that outside of like Dollar Tree, I'm feeling like we're gonna go in here. I'm gonna spend $50. I'm gonna look like a baller, shot caller. That is not what happened. That's not what happened. And let me just say how embarrassing it is to go to the counter and everything rings up and the total gets higher and higher, and we have to have a conversation at the counter. There's people behind us because Sephora is apparently very popular, and I'm like, we gotta put that back. I didn't know it's gonna be that expensive. We gotta go back and put everything back. We're going back and to each individual spot where we picked out the makeup and putting it back before we leave the store. But I did get some lashes, so we went back to the counter. I feel like we should have just left the store. We should just went to a different store. We should have asked the store associate to just put it back for us. You gagged when she started loading up that little hand cart. Yes. No, not even, because I'm like, oh, what, all this like 8-9 things is gonna be like $90. I got it. Just got paid. I got it. No, it was not $90.
They know would hurt you, destroying your property, breaking your heart.
It's not $10 at Walmart anymore, sir. Like, what? I can't even afford Walmart makeup anymore. So, cool. Inflation.
Tattooing something extremely gross on your body permanently. These men don't love you. Those words are empty when the actions don't match. Not to mention the fact that both of these men were giddy. They can't stop laughing. They can't stop smiling. They can't help them.
Pause. We're supposed to be just teasing. This is the last one, and this is the one that I was going to show you guys.
I don't care what nobody says. That man doesn't like her. And the forced laughter, the look on his face when he smashed that egg in her face, that like, he like grit his teeth and did it. Like, take the egg out of his hand. That's what he really wants to do. He really wants to smack you in your face. Pregnant with his baby or not, he does not like you. And some men use these so-called pranks as their excuse to be able to get away with behaving badly. But some of them, they've been wanting to do this. This has been what they've dreamed of. This is their only chance they can quote unquote hit you. You couldn't pay a man that truly loves you enough money to slap you in the face with an egg, enough money to humiliate you on camera. Some things a man that truly loves you would never do. For a cheap laugh. Let me tell you why some men love pranking their wives and their girlfriends so much. It's their opportunity to disrespect you without any consequences. They could say it was just a joke. You're being too sensitive. I was just playing. They could try to laugh it off. But it's disrespect. Whether he thinks it's funny or not, it's disrespectful. And you can't let him get away with it, or it's only going to get worse from here. Some of these men are with you, but that doesn't mean they don't secretly and deep down hate you. Hate something about you. You could be his wife. You could be his, the mother of his children. I mean, that man doesn't like you because taking this opportunity to disrespect you and then film it, he wants the world to see. This is how I...
Pause. That's all we're going to watch from Bourbon Bougie. Be sure to go over, and I'll link that video in the comments, in the description of this video after, actually. So we can give her some credits, and y'all can go over and hit like after the stream ends. Because I don't want to take her revenue. I think it's important that she gets her views and her revenue and her watch time. So if y'all want to see the full video, be sure to go over there, over to Bourbon Bougie, and check it out. So that's the end of my framing for the next part of the live stream, where we're going to go into your personal stories. I am going to put the link now, just in case any of you wanted to go over anything we've already looked at before we get into personal stories. And let me play an interlude so that we can know where this starts in case people come back to rewatch.
You really want to catch fucking 350 pounds of dude on your ass?
Of course.
Sounds like a good time.
That's a good time to me. He hop on my meaty, he start riding me. I said, Daddy, don't stop it. Look how he drop it. Just like a pilot, I'm all in his cockpit. I lick the cock tip, I let the cock drip.
So now we're going to get into your personal stories. Why are we going to get into your personal stories? And what was the purpose of everything that we just looked at? Pause. I just realized I still had a Q&A up. Let me see what your answers were to that. Okay, the question was, why would a woman say no if they've been dating to a marriage proposal? Curry Up and Eat says, because he can't spell. Valid. Georgia Mudfudge said, she said no because he isn't marriage material. Valid. Mistress Newbie said, because his current actions don't say potential husband. Valid. Okay, so those were 3 reasons that we got for that. I wish I had have seen that when we were at that part, but it's fine. I saw them now. He slapped her he squirted a bunch of water from a bottle in her face and smacked an egg in her face after. She's also carrying his child. So is there something you want to tell us? I need y'all to tell me about what's going on with your personal dating stories. Before we do that, quickly, again, the reason we're talking about this is because there's a claim, I think a popular claim, from the viewer that we looked at last week, the content creator we looked at last week, where it feels like a major part of modern dating's lacklusterness and terribleness is that it's been ruined by dating apps. It's been ruined by, I guess, feminism, quote unquote, modern feminism, making women's standards too high. And then a part of his claim was actually that men these days aren't going outside. I hear that a lot too, that men aren't socializing and they're not learning how to communicate or talk to women because everything's online. And he, like many others, suggests that we get rid of dating apps, and this would force men into socializing in person, like back in the day when meeting online was considered weird and taboo, right? He also asserts that men back in the day were more charismatic, had more personality, and some other stuff. And he disagrees with the notion that I have, which is that men back then were probably just as bad as today, probably worse, actually, since we're talking about a time period where women, and maybe Black people, depending on how far back you go, are considered property, not just socially, but legally. And women are only dating the men in this time period because they have no choice if they want to survive, right? Given that working and educating yourself and owning things is prohibited, or even maybe you can be threatened with death, depending on the time period. Again, I do believe there was a time period in which there was a witch trials, where if you're a woman and you're like reading books, then this can be punishable by death, by fire, or something like that. So when you're in a time period like this and you can't fend for yourself and you're forced into relationship with men, I think that you're forced into relationship with men. But he was like, oh no, it wasn't like that. Back then, men were like cool and good, and not everybody. I disagree. So I wanted to have a more chill day. And instead of deconstructing anything, I just wanted you guys to send me some of your Tinder experiences, Hinge, Bumble. If you're on Bumble, I have other questions. Coffee Meat Bagel, Match.com, whatever you guys are on, just to kind of get an idea of what you guys see on Tinder. And I was asking specifically people who date men. Basically, I wanted to see your interactions, and I wanted to ask myself, I'm open to his theory. I just wanted to ask myself, if Tinder weren't around, would the men in these interactions be like the type of guy that you would want to meet in person? If Tinder weren't around, do we think that this type of guy would be better adjusted? Is Tinder a good representation of the quote unquote in-person man of today? What we're trying to determine today is, if we got rid of Tinder, like a lot of men and some women suggest, as a means of fixing the issue that men are having socializing, for example, with women, would this be better or worse for society? Would it be better or worse for men, for women? Neither. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. I did also look into the research about male socialization. That was a major part of his argument, that because men are always on Tinder, they don't, or online and stuff like that, they don't actually know how to socialize anymore. I'm not fully in disagreement with the idea that things are now online. Let me go to the discussion section of this. Last thing, I promise. Then we're going to get into what we want to get into. So I went and looked at a study called, let me put it on screen. There we go. Masculinity, social connectedness, and mental health, men's diverse patterns of practice. I just wanted to see what's going on with male socialization, because I don't disagree that men don't know how to socialize. I think I just disagree with the type of explanations that people give for it, which tend to have to do with feminism or with dating apps. I wanted to point out in the second paragraph of the discussion, I'm not about to read all of this because I want to get into these personal stories. But in the second paragraph of the discussion, where they kind of do a brief summarizing of their interpretation of the study, the first and most common pattern described by participants was one of compartmentalizing social connections, having distinct kinds of social relationships with men and women. Social relationships with other men were dominated by sports and physical activities, whereas their relationships with women involved more open and personal communication. While these different types of relationships provided men with diverse avenues for support, it also enabled men to demonstrate and maintain a hegemonic pattern of masculinity in public, which did not reduce their social standing amongst other men. Let me quickly pause. Actually, no, let me not pause. Let me finish reading. This pattern of relating between men as a means of maintaining social status has been noted previously in the masculinities literature. However, men in this study who pursued this compartmentalizing pattern continued to rely on women in private for confiding and emotional support. This finding echoes previous studies' insights into how men's reliance on their female partners for emotional support enables some men to maintain their pursuit of hegemonic masculinity while maintaining their depression. I thought that was interesting, especially because if you guys recall the man I was speaking about earlier who couldn't pay for a dinner, so he used his wife's card so he could impress his friends in public, but then in private he's able to like break down to her and he's like, thank you, and he's being emotional and lovey-dovey, almost as if like the public image is a performance for other men. The research also indicates that there's a type of emotional dumping that men tend to do on their partner as a means to managing their depression. We'll read the third paragraph and then we can get out of here. This compartmentalizing pattern of behavior has a number of implications for men's social connectedness and mental health. The invisibility of men's private endeavors to create deeper social connections reinforces stereotypes about men's social connectedness. These stereotypes position men as problem solvers and doers rather than listeners and talkers. It was clear in this study that men can and do seek emotional support from both men and women. Maintaining the facade that men do not talk or confide about their personal issues or emotions is problematic and could act as a barrier for those men who choose to actively seek emotional support from their networks, as exemplified by men in the second pattern. It could also leave some men socially isolated with few avenues for social support during difficult life events such as relationship breakdown, which in turn could be detrimental to men's mental health and well-being. Post the link to the article, Petty. I will. I'll post a link to the study. So I posted it in the comments. I'll also make a quick note to put this in the description too. That paragraph wore my throat out. I ain't never seen a paragraph this thick. Excuse me. My teacher said 3 to 5 sentences. And 3 was skimping a little bit. More than 5, and you're writing something else. I don't know what you're writing, but you're writing something else. So I wanted to note that this type of behavior from the men is detrimental if you don't have a girlfriend, since that's where it feels like the bulk of emotional outlet is. And I do hear that from men. Maybe that's why there's like this desperate, I need a girlfriend feeling whenever I'm looking at anything by the men's. The funniest thing is, if men do seek emotional support from men, I fear a good population of men and women will see it as down low or suspect. What was interesting, based on what I read from this study, is that women don't seem to care. In fact, this can be like, imagine, since we're looking into the research and men literally don't talk to each other in the way that they emotionally dump on their wife or their girlfriend. I feel like women would generally feel positively about this, because now there's a type of emotional burden that you no longer have to carry, since he can share it with his friends in the way that women do. Now, from other men, again, based on this research, it feels like the men are trying to maintain a facade. Like the guy I mentioned earlier, and he's like, oh, I took my wife's credit card and paid for it all. And then we just talked about it later. It's like, in front of other men and other people, I'm going to be the man. But then when I get home to my wife, I can emotionally dump about how I couldn't even afford this dinner. So it acts as a barrier from yourself, because men are reluctant to seek out other men. There were men in this research who did seek out other relationships with men, but there's a barrier on the other side, because other men also feel like they're supposed to be upholding a certain type of thing, and if you're reaching out to me for this or that, that's not manly. That's something that's shameful, etc. So that's how I feel about it. Yes, thick ass paragraph. Now, we can get into our victims. I know y'all have been waiting for this. We can get into our victims. Let me play a short interlude again.
You really want to catch fucking 350 pounds of dude in your ass?
Never mind. Y'all said y'all don't like that one. We don't have to. But what I want to talk about is y'all dating lives, because y'all sent me some absolute mess. I've been bursting with this information. And what happened was, I asked for this too early. I think I asked you guys last week, maybe. I should have asked like a day or two ago, because I've been sitting on this all week by myself. Not all of it by myself, because some of you are in the Discord and y'all were sharing with each other. If you sent me a story, and you would like to come up now, if you feel like you need to explain yourself, I'm not asking you to, I'm not forcing you to come up. If you feel like personally you would like to explain something about what you sent me, you can come up now. Let's see. Otherwise, I'm just going to review what you sent me myself, and I'm going to interpret it how I interpret it. That's what I'm going to do. What's the skin routine? No soap, no rag, don't wash your legs, just let the water run down. Nothing, just water. That's a male only routine. Let's put these on the screen. Let's start with victim number 1. No one came up. I'm going to assume y'all are ashamed. So let's start with victim 1. I'm going to list y'all as victims. Victim 1 is Double Oxer. Hold up, because I put her name like right in the middle. I put the name right in the middle, so I couldn't read it. There we go. Now I can see it. I'm just going to read some of these texts. I'm very much ashamed. It's okay. So, our victim asked, "What was your best adventure?" The man replies by saying, "I don't know how to define my past tense, my best adventure. Some memorable ones that come to mind include flying to Tanzania and climbing Mount Kilimanjaro." I hope that's how that's pronounced. Mount that, taking the longest trail that starts in the rainforest and making it to the top while carrying mayo on gear with just my guide and his cook in 48 hours, then doing a little shopping and flying to South Africa, shooting a Cape buffalo, an animal known to kill more hunters than anything other than a mosquito, and then numerous photo safaris before going to Kenya, that's not how that's spelled, and partying hard until my 5 a.m. flight. Okay, we're off to a strong start. This is a lot. Then there is this time I got stuck on the side of a mountain, foraging for fruits and weeds for 3 days, and then moving into a burnt out village to continue to live for another 3 days in a part of the world that spoke its own language. So no one could understand the locals, nor could they understand us. Okay. Then there's this whole 2-year period of my life where every other weekend I would fly to a different city based on where I can get it the cheapest plane tickets and make my plan on the plane and often sleep on the return flight on Sunday, meeting people, exploring and seeing things while winging it as I went, hanging out with everyone from supermodels to athletes to gangsters and criminals and hippies and bankers and whatever I could stumbled my way into. There's more. Then there are the amazing orgies in Ball of a F. I don't know what that means. Are y'all getting together and everybody in the group hugs into a ball? Anyway, swinging, gangbangs, being a third for a loving couple here and there. So many delicious, erotic, amazing moments. Like I'll never forget meeting a lesbian couple at a swingers club with my partner at the time. And by the end of the night, the lesbians wanted a D. So I effed her hard while my partner rode the other girl's face and they held hands romantically while we made out. There's more. Getting caught in squalls. Let me Google what squalls is. I need to understand something real quick. I hope it's not what I think it is. Okay, it's a storm. All right, it's nothing nasty. They got stuck in a storm in the Florida Sea on a small pool boat, going to a bachelor party in Vegas, crashing a wedding in Charleston, and toasting the groom. 15 minutes after I met him, our other zany memories. Let me see. Where is it? Our other zany memories. And our subscriber says, okay, well, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I wish you luck. That's all the context that we got from that story. Cantor on, I see that you were in the back. What say you?
Why have to be victim one? Like
So the reason it's victim one is because I feel like the people on the receiving end are the victims.
Well, yes, okay.
Based on what I read, that's just what I feel like is the most appropriate term. But he says he was out here having orgies, traveling to different parts of the world. He visited people and they have the lost language. He went to the lost city of Atlantis where he made love to several women and they were lesbian, but he was so hot that they just wanted him so bad. All of this he says is true. And apparently the person who sent me this, she just passed up on this amazing guy.
Oh, that was me. I sent it to you.
Oh, hey, okay.
You said come up to defend yourself.
So why did you come defend yourself? I need to understand. I need to understand. Why did you give up such an amazing and well-traveled man? Like, what was it about him that you weren't feeling?
Okay, so let me explain. Because this was ages ago this is the reason why I got off Bumble. But
not my 13th reason why.
And that was it was the last straw. I was like, okay, these people are crazy. But like, no, the profile itself was normal. So I was very confused because I was just asking about the traveling part. I thought I was just asking a normal question. And then I got a whole book. I got a whole book back.
And it was completely crazy. I wasn't sure if he was mentally unstable, if he was just, that's his idea of humor.
Is his
If he
name?
was just unserious about everything in life,
Was
or
his,
like just, I don't know.
can I ask, what's his name? Walter? He could be fresh.
No,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay. I was just checking. Not gang bangs, gang and bangs. That's what it was. That's what it. Whoever believes this needs to join my MLM. Why is he
Exactly,
writing a
Kenny.
book? Why is he writing a book? I've got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. Sounds like a good time to me. She's behind. Miss Dees is behind. His magic D unlesbianized them. Incredible. So his profile was completely normal, and then you just
I thought it was normal until this message. This was literally the first message.
That was the first message.
The very first message.
Let me look.
There
at
was
that.
no other messages.
Okay, you said, what was your best adventure? And he sent you back this essay, and then you said, have a wonderful weekend. I wish you luck.
Yep, and blocked them after that. Yep.
And then
deleted my profile.
Bumble, deleted your not even undownloaded the app, just delete.
No, I just deleted the whole thing.
So when the message came up and it said, if you delete your profile, we can't recover the data, you was just like, yes.
Yeah, I took screenshots because I was like, someone has to see this foolishness. But like, that was the only message I even have, like any kind of record of, because I just deleted it.
Okay, so
that was my fault for even being on there, honestly.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. In your opinion, do you feel like the reason that this happened and you guys didn't work out is because of dating apps or because of modern feminism or anything like that? Or what would you say is the reason why things didn't work out?
Because he's crazy.
Okay. That's interesting, because the prevailing theory that I'm hearing is that it's feminism, women's standards too high. Like, could that be it? Was all of his adventures just like, no, I need someone with more? Were your standards simply higher than what he could give? Or no, it was just he was crazy?
I honestly, I'm still baffled to this day about the whole thing.
He was trying to prime you to see if you were down to swing.
No. Absolutely not.
Interesting.
But isn't it, like I said, that was so long ago. I don't even remember what year that was. Either way, I haven't been on it since. So I'm just like, no, I'm good.
I see. Well, thank you for letting us know. This brings us, of course, to victim 2. You are welcome to stay. You can leave. But what we need to do is get to victim 2, because victim 2, I think, sent a lot. So let's see what's going on with victim 2. This is too small for me to read. Hold up. Let me get my bifocals. Let me gather my bifocals. Apologies. Thoughts and chairs. Thoughts and chairs. There we go. I can see it now. I don't know if you guys can, but I can see it nice and good and big now. So let's see what's going on here. Our user, it looks like, is in blue. The messenger says, the man says, good morning. Are we on for this evening at 8:30 p.m.? She says, I'm so sorry. I don't think I can go. He says, what happened, and would you like to go another evening? That's a whole conversation. That's a lot. That's a lot. He writes fiction. Yes. He says, what happened, and would you like to go another evening? She says, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it, but I'm scared to go outside because people will get violent with me. I don't know if I want to plan something right now. He says, well, you should have mentioned that you are agoraphobic before making a date with me, don't you think? Oh, that seems rude. But whatever. She says, LMAO. What? I left my house yesterday and someone tried to assault me. It's not a phobia. He says, agoraphobia. Let me Google this real quick. I'm not about to be out here ignorant. We don't do ignorance over here. We don't do ignorance over here. Agoraphobia is a fear of being in situations where escape might be difficult or that help wouldn't be available if things go wrong. That's a phobia. I feel like that's just like a regular fear that you should have. Like that seems reasonable. But cool. He doesn't think so. He says agoraphobia is fear of wide open spaces, basically the opposite of claustrophobia. Hold up. Let me go back to the definition. Fear of being in situations where escape might be difficult. That doesn't seem like a fear of open spaces, but he said it boldly with his chest. Oh, look, many people assume agoraphobia is simply a fear of open spaces, but it's actually a more complex condition. So he was sitting here matter-of-factly, and he didn't even have the matter-of-fact. I told you I don't like that. Why are you over here? Actually, agoraphobia is a fear of open spaces, and I just pulled up the first page of Google. I know who this is. Kenny can come to the stand. That's what can happen. That's a valid fear, especially for women. Yeah. It doesn't feel like something that should be I mean, maybe it is a phobia. We can call it a legitimate phobia, but whatever. But he says, yeah, it's a fear of wide open spaces, even though that's not what it is. She says, but you're right, boo-hoo for you. And he says, but I understand you feel genuinely threatened. Would you like me to come to you and grab some takeout? She says, no, thank you. He says, okay, just want to set my expectations, or are you ever going to want to get together? She says, I think I do, honestly. You're pretty smart, and I'd like your help with something. Can you tell me the phobia of being attacked? Okay, so she then asked him, can you tell me the phobia of being attacked? I'm about to look it up right now. Hold up. Because I'm not scared of open spaces. I actually love them. I'm scared of being attacked. Let's see. Fear of being attacked. We have to stay educated, guys. It says that's agoraphobia. Hold up. So it looks like that might fall under agoraphobia. Maybe. Even though he was using it incorrectly. He says, I don't think that is a phobia. Well, maybe if you had have looked up agoraphobia before you... Anyway, sorry. I think it's a genuine concern where you live, but if you let me bring you some takeout, I promise I won't attack you. Let me pause. I don't feel like this is a good defense. I don't feel like if someone's like, hey, I don't want to link up like this. Usually I think it's like, oh, I don't want to go on a hike with you for the first date, or I don't want to go to your house for the first day, or I don't want you to pick me up. I think we should just meet at the venue for safety reasons. I don't feel like, oh, trust me, I'm different is like a good defense or a good solid reason for someone to be like, oh, okay, well, he said he's different. So never mind. We can just meet at your house in the woods. No problem. Yes, red flag. So he doesn't know the phobia. She says, that's interesting. But it doesn't just happen here. It happens on the train, downtown, Brooklyn, Ridgewood, college. One time it happened at a friend's house. It's been happening way more since 2023 started, TBH. That's when most of those happening. He said, no doubt. She said, so wait, sorry. If there's no phobia for being attacked, and I said I'm scared because people have been getting violent with me, why did you send me the definition of agoraphobia? He said, I didn't have all the information when I made that comment. I don't know. This feels icky to me, but let me continue. It just feels a little icky to me. I didn't have all the information when I made that comment. Let me go back to the start to see what it was. She said, I'm scared to go outside because people get violent with me. I don't know if I want to plan something right now. He says, you should have mentioned that you are agoraphobic before making a date with me, don't you think? I feel like I don't know if you guys can read tone through text. I can't because text doesn't have a tone, but I feel like this has a tone and it feels like chastising. Like, don't you think you should have like I can just hear it. I could just hear it. That's all. But he said he didn't have all the information. And she said, oh, okay, I was really confused about that because it's not like I have a mental condition that doesn't let me go outside. He says, I totally understand. What is your plan to improve the situation? Oh. Okay. He says, what is your plan to improve the situation? What is your plan to improve your attitude, sir? Uh-oh, Vitamin missed it. We started going into the degenerate parts. So y'all left out of the live stream and y'all didn't want to look at the academic part where I looked into the research. Y'all just wanted to get into the messy messages. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just taking notes. That's all I'm doing. But he says, I totally understand. What is your plan to improve the situation? I feel pressured and I'm not even the person being texted. What do you mean? What is my plan to improve my fear of being attacked by men? What do I feel like this is not my problem. This feels like a societal problem. What is society going to do about my fear of being attacked by men outside? That's what I feel like. That's who I feel like the onus should be on, society. But she says, I don't really know. I don't want to carry a weapon. I've tried that and I don't have the courage to use it. I can't change who I am. I'm a really bad liar. I don't have the money to move out to somewhere safer, but I have been trying to get to work. I've applied to over 200 jobs in the past 2 months. He says, oh, wow, it always seems that businesses are desperate for people. I think every restaurant in blank needs servers and hosts at the moment. Let's see. I know it's all kinds of jobs. I was initially going for assistant manager, blah, 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 blah. She's applying for a lot of jobs, y'all. And she says, I truly don't understand. The only thing left is Taco Bell and McDonald's type of stuff at this point. Let me pause. This is an aside. I don't know what's going on with the job market. It's always been like this for as long as I can remember. You will apply for 200 people. Nobody texts back. You can be overqualified, underqualified, just the right amount of qualified. And as soon as you get one job, and you'll take the dustiest job that you can get because your spirit breaks, right? You get fired or you quit or whatever, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go apply for some jobs in my field. You're applying, nobody's responding. You're like, okay, you know what? Maybe I can get out of my field a little bit. And then you start looking at McDonald's and stuff. And once you're about like 200 resumes in, right? And then when you take a job, a sorry job, and they're like, we can only pay you 3 cents an hour. And you're like, okay, I'll take it. Please, I'll take it. That's when people start calling you back. As soon as you take a job, that's when people start calling you back. You know who it's just like? It's just like your ex. Hey, big head, you be lonely after a breakup and you be just, I wish he would text me. I wish they would just text me. As soon as you get into a fruitful relationship, that's when hey, big head comes. That's when it comes. Sorry, that was an aside, but I just don't like the job market. Yeah, so he says you have applied for all them jobs. Let's go to the next page. There is more. There is more. He says, so you applied for all these jobs but haven't gotten one. I think I think he starts need to go in person, grammar. Yes, I'm slugging, and we don't call it slugging. My mom says it's just putting Vaseline on your face. Stop all that Gen Z stuff. Come on now. He says you applied for all these jobs but haven't gotten one. I think he starts need to go in person and knock on doors and have them see how capable you are live instead of just online. Let me pause. No. That's disgusting. I don't know why my Alexa responded all the way from in the other room. I might be yelling. I'm sorry. Stop. This is just like my grandpa. I hate people who say something like this. My grandpa used to say, back when I was looking for work, I went down and washed the windows for free. And the manager saw me working so hard and hired me right there. I've been working for him for 53 years after that day. Shut up. Nobody want to hear your senile old man stories. Why do people say this? You need to go down in person and start applying. Just shut up. What do you think this is? Am I tripping? Or is that my bad? I understand I may have an older audience. Is that how it is? I'm disgusted. Go in person and apply. Ew. She says, I've gotten a few interviews when I call back asking what I should have done better. Let's see. This is unimportant for the discussion. She's just like, this is hard. He's like, you're qualified and capable. I don't know why he's complimenting like he wasn't just being what I feel like was condescending in the first screenshots, but it's fine. Let's see. She says, I don't get it. Am I crazy? Because I think I'm going to the interviews dirty, bad smelling, or sounding crazy or anything. I just give a normal, honest account of my job history, clean my nails, do my hair before, like I like to look nice, you know. What do you think it is? Uh-oh. What does he think it is? Maybe you seem to lack confidence in interviews. Like I said, I don't really know you, and I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Is he about to rope this into we should meet in person so you can practice on me? He says, wow, that genuinely sounds effing hot. Now I want to meet you even more than before. Wait, what sounds effing hot? What did she just say? Hold up. Oh, I missed one. Okay, she asked, what do you think it is? Why am I not getting the jobs? He says, I don't know you at all, but I could see that maybe you don't come across as confident or mildly aggressive enough in an interview. You're probably just a little passive. She says, oh, something I love to say because it's true. I specialize in upselling spirits. Oh, it's bar. Okay, it's like bartending. Now I understand. Go in person so they can tell you to apply online. Thank you. Old self. Sit down somewhere. Let's see. So she specializes in selling spirits. She always attempts to anticipate one's needs prior to them even knowing it. This pervades in my personal life as well. I take care of everyone I'm close to the utmost ability. What do you think I should say instead? I think that was actually good. I think they're not hiring. I just don't know, honestly. From what I've seen of you, he says, you look more than presentable and you speak in text very well. Could be some sort of reverse discrimination, whereas they feel that a cute white boy, this is a boy, I have now learned something, just is not interested in working that hard. I'm not saying there was any truth in that, but that might be a perception, especially in New York City. Reverse discrimination. It is the white boy who is being discriminated against out here. Will someone in America please think about the white men? So what's happening here? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to piece it together because they didn't want to come up and tell me. So I gave y'all an invitation at the beginning to come up and let me know what exactly is going on in the screenshots that I'm reading. Y'all decided y'all was just gonna let me try to figure it out myself, and it's fine. It's fine. But he says that's really hot. I'm not sure why that's hot, but he says that's really hot that you like to take care of other people around you. And now I want to meet you even more than before. I'm lost. So we're all lost and we're all confused. So if you sent this and you're listening and you would like to clarify, please message me now, or you can hit the link and come up and explain it. Because I feel like I'm confused. I feel like my audience is confused, and I need to not be confused anymore. I need someone to explain. For the record, I said to dead him at agoraphobic. That's my friend, so I can provide some context without giving too much personal info. Because I feel like we're at a job application. Yes, Kenny, clear it up. Please fill us in, Kenny. The panel is open, and the comments are too. I need to understand. It feels like now he's helping her with a job interview, but she's so sexy that he can't focus on excuse me, he is so sexy that he can't focus on this job thing. Let's see. You're making me want to meet you even more. I'm just spot reading some stuff. Wait, why does it feel like your friend is being really, really serious and like, oh my God, I'm trying to get this job and I'm working on this and that and I'm looking to do this and that. And he's just like, wow, all this conversation is making me hot and bothered. I want to meet you so bad now. Why is he so eager to meet? It's scaring me. I don't like that. Let's see. Ew. Kenny, you're here to explain some stuff to us. I started spot reading it and I went to the end and I don't like what I'm seeing. I feel disgusted. Thank you for sharing with me. Let me read a little more and then you can clarify some stuff. Let's see. She was fired. Let me read a little more and then you can clarify some stuff.
All right.
Huh? Okay. She said, he said, I'm walking with my head high, straight back straight and a soft kind of smile. Again, describing what he's trying to do to get a job. And the other gentleman is saying, you're making me want to meet you even more. He says, this made me tired, honestly. That took a lot. And the other one says, thank you for sharing with me seriously. Are you sure I can't change your mind about this evening? Ew. And says, yeah, I'm happy I have the patience. Feels like people are always trying to find a reason to make everything my fault. I don't know. Now I'm scared and tired. He says, you should take into account that having any interaction with a nice, successful guy could lead to an opportunity. Take a nap. And I will unscare you later by showing you kindness and attention. Okay, so he's eager to meet. Kenny, who is this and why is he so eager to meet your friend? And why is he ignoring the fact that they're scared of like being attacked by a random person? And instead of being comforting, he's like, let's meet. I want to meet you so bad. I just want to meet you. Oh my God, I want to meet you so badly. I can't wait to meet you. Don't you want to meet today? Can I change your mind about meeting today? I don't know. What's going on, Kenny? You came to clarify some stuff.
Yeah, just for context, this is, oh, hey, Petty. Just for context, this is a non-binary person.
Okay.
So like they come off as like, you know, male presenting, female presenting. And this is also the friend I was talking about when I said people tell me that they can't go on the train station without being harassed, whereas I can walk down the middle of the street in the middle of the night with my shirt off and not be bothered. So that's the context for why they feel unsafe and like why they feel like they're being bothered, because people honestly do bother them a lot.
And you don't feel like this man asking them like, hey, do you want to link up tonight? You want to link up tonight, and being like super eager and aggressive in his messaging and trying to get them to meet up tonight. You don't feel like that's helping their fear?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Let me go to the final screenshot. The final screenshot. He says, wait, do you think I'm challenging you about your personal experience? So far from our interaction, you seem pretty amazing. They say, it felt like you were when you said I should have warned you about my agoraphobia. I had to defend the fact that that's not why I'm scared. He says, I don't think you had to defend yourself as much as just inform me. Let's just leave it at this. I've enjoyed chatting with you. If you think you would like to ever hang out, then just text me and let me know when. They say, oh, that's a good point. What information did I forget to give? I think I would like to hang out. I just don't think I'm in a place mentally to plan something. I'd hate to make plans again and then cancel because someone attacked me. You did not forget, he says. I texted my reply before I read your text is all. They say, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I assumed I left something out. And he ends, it looks like the last screenshot ends with him saying, please forgive me for not even asking. Were you injured during the attack? I don't know. It feels like he just said, I wasn't challenging you about your personal experience and I wasn't making you defend himself. But he then asked, were you even injured during the attack? That feels like you now have to provide a defense, or I don't know. Maybe he was genuinely asking, but I feel like he wants you to prove that you were actually attacked. So I don't like it.
I forgot there's actually another piece of context before I guess before this text message thread started, or where before the agoraphobic comments where my friend said they were uncomfortable going outside, we had literally, like, I almost got in a fight with some guys because they were bothering a transgender woman, like, moments before that. And I feel like it was kind of a triggering experience. But the other thing you have to understand about my friend is they will debate you until the end of time. Like, they will sit there and argue with you just to prove their point.
Okay. So your friend is facing constant attacks, and before this date that they had already set up, there was another attack which made them feel unsafe about going on the date. Okay. Now we can get to our, thank you for the context. Now we can get to the same person, but a different interaction. Same person, different interaction. The man says hi. They say hi back. The man says, how are you, baby? Forward. They say, just finished cleaning, enjoying the day. How are you? He says, I'm good, baby. They say that's good to hear. He sends 3 heart emojis and says, I love it. He then says, it looks like there's a missed FaceTime or whatever app this is, video call. He says, baby, what do you want or not? Hello. So what we're learning is grammar is going to be a recurring theme. YouTube does not mess with you. I got the 30-minute notification, but not the live one, even though I clicked the button. It's okay. Welcome. You're here now. Toxic people love who they consider weak people. I don't disagree. He or she admitted to their codependent behaviors. That's why he's eager to meet. That's what it felt like. It felt like throughout, while they were discussing something separate from dating, right? Going to the job. I'm not about to read the comment that you just commented, not you production, but I just saw it in the comments. I'm not about to read that. Yes, they're like, oh, I'm just a kind person and I take care of everyone around me. And like after this, it feels like an eagerness to meet up now. I want to see you so bad. That makes me want to see you even more. Why? Why? Now that you know that I simp for people around me, why do you want to see me more? It feels like you want to use me. It feels like a lack of awareness. That's what it feels like. So he says, baby, do you want or not? Grammar. Hello. They say, I don't really want sex. He says, no problem, baby. They decline another FaceTime call. And then he says, baby, where are you? They say, I'm in Harlem. What about you? He says, me too. They say, oh, nice. He says, yeah, baby. Can I see what it looks like? He sent some sweating emojis. So he's down bad. And then he says, baby, again. And then another missed call. Now, I feel like they just discussed that there shouldn't be they don't want sex, basically. So it feels like that's what was just discussed. So I don't understand why he's like, let me see what it looks like. I feel like that would be included in sex. Maybe we should have specifically said no sexual conversation. What do you want or not? Thank you. Like, is this the state of, is all of this in New York and Brooklyn and I don't know what other boroughs, but all of this is in New York. I don't know what's going on over there, but I'll pray for y'all. We now have the same person with the last little bit of thing. What do you want or not? That's gonna be something. Bumble dating in New York City is like skydiving without a parachute. Oof. What's with all the babies? Oof. Oh my God, I definitely got some of those. Oof. I can't go to that comment. I can't put this on. Yes, this is New York City. So this is what's going on in New York City. Now we have this gentleman. He says, Let's go out to a nice dinner. Oh, wait. He's 46, man, hetero flexible. He's single and 17 miles away. He says, let's go out to a nice dinner. Dirty martinis is a plus. Attracted to many types. Not looking for anything serious or long term. 46. Okay. Anything serious or long term, but wouldn't be opposed with the right person. 6'1" and fit. That's just a profile, so we don't actually have an interaction there. We just had a profile, so that I could kind of understand the dating pool. And now the last one from this person. The context: we had started to stop talking. Excuse me. We had started to stop talking. Excuse me again. Okay, so they began to stop talking. Got it. Because I was trying to distance myself. I didn't like the guy, and he wanted to talk about it. Let me pause. If somebody doesn't like you, stop trying to ogle somebody into meeting you in person. Well, if you want to break up with me, you need to meet me at the corner of 3rd Street so that we can break up in person, because doing it through just stop. Get some help. Take no for an answer. I feel like if somebody doesn't want to be with you, just don't be with them. Don't try to force them into an in-person interaction. No, actually, because I feel scared now. Why do you want to meet me in person after I say I don't want to talk to you anymore? That's what I want to know. He says, where exactly? Okay, so after they try to break it off, he wants to talk about it, and they ask if he can come closer so that they can talk in person. I would be scared to meet. Yeah, I'm saying. He says, where exactly? I want to go to Lucky's. They say, where's Lucky's? He says, Brooklyn, Lucky 13 Saloon. They say, that's a bit far. Are you in BK? I guess Brooklyn right now. He says, yep, as mentioned prior, today I'm in BK. They say, I'm at Black Cat. A friend came with me to get tested, and we came here for a drink. You're more than welcome to come, or we can meet in the middle somewhere. They say, LOL, I'm already in Brooklyn, which is out of my way as a default, and I don't know if I want to go out of my way further for someone else's convenience. They say, yeah, I definitely get the inconvenience of going to another borough. I don't get the inconvenience. I just told you I wanted to break things off, and you want me to meet you in person to talk about it, and now you're mad because I want you to meet somewhere that's convenient for me. Okay, well, this makes me feel I should have blocked you instead of this makes me feel like I should have blocked you instead of doing this whole thing, the whole shebang. Now we get into the messages. Hold up. We're gonna have to come back to this. Victim 2 is taking a long time. So victim 2 has one more section that we're going to get to. But before we do that, we're going to go to victim 3, 4, and 5, because those victims have very, very brief stories. So we'll be back to you, victim 2. And I do apologize if y'all are upset at me for calling them victims. So let's start at victim 3. Victim 3 had something interesting going on. Let's discuss it. And there we go. Let me blow this up bigger for me. I think it only gets bigger for me. I don't think it gets bigger for you guys. They say, hey, how are you doing? She says, I'm good. What's up? He says, I'm good as well, and nothing. What are you doing? She says, nothing really, just home working on something. Hope all has been well with you. And he says, I'm all right. What are you working on? And then they blurt it out. I don't know what she was working on, but they blurred it out. He says, would you like to hang out sometime? She says, I can think about it. Anything in particular in mind? He says, doesn't matter. What would you like to do? She says, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Thank you for asking, though. I'll let you know if I ever want to take you up on the offer to hang out. He says, okay, we can go for drinks. Pause, amber flag, or anything. And I don't know if you're looking for anything serious like a relationship or whatnot. Pause, amber flag. I feel like if somebody says, Are you looking for anything serious, as opposed to I'm looking for something serious? They're trying to test the water to see if you're not DTF, or if you're actually looking for something. Welcome 88 Roshan. You didn't miss anything but niggatry, but don't worry, there's more. So he says, just let me know when you want to meet and what you would like to do. Cool. So far, so good. That means she's not interested. Is that what that? No. Is that what that means? Okay. She says, I will absolutely let you know if I would like to meet up. Are you looking for a serious relationship? He says, I'm looking for one, but we can even just meet and see what happens. And if something does, we can go from there. Interesting. Okay, I don't disagree with that. I think that's okay. You want a relationship, you want to meet up and see how y'all vibe. I think that's fine. She says, taking initiative, I like it. Oh, I just read ahead. Oops. That's good. Just wait when we meet and see what else I can do and make you smile and everything. And wait, maybe those lips of yours can feel great too. Would you let me kiss your dark chocolate lips, gorgeous? Would you let me kiss your dark chocolate lips, gorgeous? Let me bring that closer so I can make sure I read that correctly. Y'all should throw up emojis. That's good. Just wait when we meet and see what else I can do and make you. There's no punctuation, no comma, no enunciate, nothing. Wait when we meet and see what else I can do and make you smile and everything. And wait, maybe those lips of yours can feel great too. Would you let me kiss your dark chocolate lips, gorgeous? I read it wrong. Am I actually? Wait, am I actually reading it wrong? I feel like I read it right. I just didn't like what I read. That's why I read it again. I needed to confirm that I just read what I read. But did I actually read it wrong? This is literally the norm. I mean, I'm not disagreeing that this is the norm. What I'm trying to figure out is, where's the dating app? I didn't see Tinder in this screenshot. I just see a man and a woman talking. I didn't see a feminism. I just saw a man and a woman talking. And somebody just said, let me kiss up on them juicy chocolate lips. She says, well, that escalated quickly. He said, my bad, I'm sorry. You should have been sorry before you sent that. You should have, let me pause. Aside, you can think about things before you say them. You can think about things before you text them. You can read. This is such a long message. You can read what you're texting as you're texting it, proofread it, make sure there's punctuation, make sure this doesn't sound crazy for someone who just met someone else. You can do all of that as you're typing. You have to proofread this to send it. You don't have an option because it's text. It's not words. So it's not like, oh, I spoke before I could think. No, you have to think this. And then you have to move your fingers and type it on paper. That's a white dude with a black girl fetish. Are y'all reading ahead? Let me find out y'all are reading ahead. He says he want to kiss up on them dark chocolate lips. And he says, my bad, I'm sorry. He's just too eager. She says, haha, and sends a thumbs up. He says, we don't have to, but I just wouldn't mind kissing you and holding you. That's all. That's all. He says, what are you looking for? You are wait, hold up. How much time was there between that screenshot? That's the 4th. This is the 4th. When was this? 7:32. This is okay. About 10 minutes later, there was just 10 minutes of silence. He says, what are you looking for after that 10 minutes of silence? You are a very beautiful woman. He sends that after 15 more minutes. Then he says, I'd like to spoil you. I feel like people just resort to, I feel like if people feel like they've been rejected, they start resorting to more and more desperate measures. Okay, oops, she didn't like it when I said I want to kiss up on your chocolate juicy lips. My bad. Can I spoil you? Can I buy you some? I feel like people are going to revert back as if this is text message. I can see it, sir. It's still here. It's still here in the thread. Why are you trying to pretend like you didn't just say what you just said? She says, can't say I'm looking for anything. Thank you for the compliment. He says, you're welcome. And why is there, hold up, because the grammar is your, as in yours. You're welcome. And why is there that you're not looking for anything? Look at you girl, smiley face. You're welcome. And why is there that you're not looking for anything? Look at you girl. Like I'd do a lot for you if you gave me a chance and make you happy. She says, one sec. I'm sorry. She says, one sec. If he had a chance to meet her, which he didn't, it's definitely not happening now. Thank you. Why are you? Hey, can we set this up? I want to go on this type of date if you ever want to. And she's like, thank you. I like a man who takes initiative. And then he's like, no problem. So you're going to let me suck up on them juicy lips? Sir, you were so close. How could you fumble it like this? I'm exhausted just listening to this one. What did you, and then you gonna try and go back? So anyway, you want to be spoiled or anything? I do a lot for you if you gave me a chance and make you happy. He'd do a lot for you if you gave him a chance and make you happy. She says, one sec. I don't know. I just haven't felt the need. That's nice though. Hopefully whoever you deal with in the future won't take complete advantage of that. I feel like this is the we can close it here. This was the rejection. Hopefully whoever you deal with in the future won't take complete advantage of that. This is your sign to say, thank you for the opportunity. Goodbye. This is the chance for you to walk away with some dignity, or however much dignity you can walk away with after you say, let me kiss up on them juicy black lips. He says, okay, well, maybe I can change your mind and all. I'm a great guy and you like being around me. You like being around me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You'd like being around me. Why would you like being around him? Let's find out in the next screenshot. He sent this at 8:37 p.m. At 8:41 p.m. he says, you like being around me because I'd give you massages and also do other things for you that you love probably. You know you seem interested. Wow. I'd give you massages. I'm going to keep reading these twice because I feel like we need to see them twice. We need to hear them twice. I'd give you massages and also do other things for you that you'd love probably. You know you seem interested. She says, I seem interested in what? He says, with meeting me and maybe showing you a nice time and maybe letting me spoil you. She says, LOL. He says, what do you say? She says, I've already told you. He says, I know, but you should let me. I don't bite or anything. I don't bite or anything. Huh. She said, I feel like you do. Excuse me. She said, I feel like you do this a lot. He says, I don't. She says, oh, okay. He says, yeah, and I would like to date a black girl. I haven't dated one in a good while. Hold up. Who said this was a white man dating a black girl for the first time? Where is it? Where is it? I feel like it was production. Let me find the comment. I'll give you something. I'll figure out what to do. Who said that? Which one of y'all said this is a white man dating a black girl for the first time? That's a white dude with a black girl fetish. Okay, there it is. Bingo. I would like to date a black girl. I haven't dated one in a good while. Why did he say it like that? Like you're a specimen or something. Haven't had one of these in a minute. Okay, anyway. But it's up to you. Sorry if I'm pressuring you or anything, but I just feel like we would have a good time going out sometime. You, my first black girl in a good while. That's not what he said. I just added that part on the end. She says, gotcha. And that's the last text until 4:44 a.m. the next day. He says, hey, what are you doing? Then at 6:34 p.m. the same day, 14 hours later, he says, hey, what are you doing? At 11:05 p.m., 5 hours later, he says, what are you doing? And our subscriber says, you shouldn't keep messaging people like this. I saw your previous messages. No need to send more than one. And that's how our interaction ends. We have a little bit of context. Oh yeah, this was also my best friend's close family friend. Wasn't interested, but I was trying to be nice. Let me know if you want his face reveal. It's fine. We can make do with this. We can make do with this. We can see enough. So that was our second victim. Now, I don't know what you guys saw. I didn't see a dating app. Again, people are saying dating apps is ruining dating. Do we feel like if this man was like forced to like interact with women in person, it would improve his dating life? Do we feel like it would improve the dating life of the women that he talks to? Do we feel like if we got rid of dating apps and there was no longer a barrier between our subscriber and this man, that this would be good for society? I don't feel like it. I feel like it's not the dating app. The dating app is a tool that people use. And if you have a problematic person, I feel like we should look at the person as opposed to the tool that they use. It would not improve stuff. I actually think it would make things worse if these people were forced to interact with you in person. Let's move on to victim 4. Prince.petti, I want to add to the dating horror stories. A few years back when I was dating online, I met this guy on Plenty of Fish. Initially, I almost called the date off because he lived in San Francisco and had no car, so I had to drive out there to meet him. I hate driving in San Francisco. I'm from Richmond, California, a small town about 20 minutes from San Francisco. I decided not to judge since a lot of people who live in San Francisco don't have cars due to traffic. Let me pause. Because you said, I hate driving in San Francisco. And initially, I almost called off the date because he lived in San Francisco and had no car. So I had to drive out there to meet him. Let's pause. I feel like if you have an intuition about something, never mind. Never mind. I'm not here to chastise my subscribers. No, thank you. So you drove out anyway. Sorry. She decided not to judge because a lot of people in San Francisco don't have cars due to traffic. Yeah, like maybe it's a New York thing where it's really, really walkable or something. Strike 2. Wait, excuse me. Strike 1. He lived very close to the pier, so that was a plus. We walked there from his house. Let me Google pier. I feel like it's a body of water. I need to understand what y'all are doing. A platform supported on pillars or girders. So y'all went on your first date to a platform supported on pillars or girders? I don't know what that means, but it's fine. He walked me to the platform supported on pillars or girders from his house. Strike 1. He claims to have lost his wallet. He claims to have lost his wallet with his debit card in it, so he couldn't access his money. Strike 2. He kept saying how good the food smelled every time we walked by a restaurant and trying to hint for me to buy us lunch. So hollering like a hit dog. Y'all are out here taking some dogs to get scraps and they're whimpering on the date. This is ridiculous. So y'all are walking past the restaurants and those pretzels smell good. That pizza smells really good. Oh, I would love to be eating right now. At the pier. So this is what's going on at the pier in California. He kept saying how good the food smelled every time we walked by a restaurant and trying to hint at me to buy us lunch. That definitely wasn't happening. The ultimate strike 3 came when we were discussing dating, relationships, and why we were on Plenty of Fish. At the time, I had just finalized my divorce. When I told him that, he went on to tell me that he was married but separated. Apparently, he had left his wife and very young daughter back in Kansas. I asked why his profile said single instead of separated or divorced. He told me that this whole long story. Of course, he painted the wife and baby mama as a villain. I asked about his daughter, and he said, I will never forget this. Well, that's why I put single with no kids on my profile. I would rather just start over fresh and forget. Excuse me? I'm sorry. I laughed out of nervousness, not because it's funny. He said, I would rather just start over fresh and forget that part of my life. So I asked for clarification. I said, do you mean forget your child exists? He said with a straight face, yes, it's just easier to forget they exist. It's just easier to forget they exist and just start over fresh with someone new. Needless to say, I ended the date and we never spoke again. And that's that on that. Okay, so where do I start with this one? I mean, this is actually, I think Themis actually touched on this maybe in our last podcast. Gab. I think Themis spoke on this briefly regarding men in their relationships with their children, where men who are separated from their ex tend to also separate from the child once they move on from the woman. So, I mean, that seems to be in line with the data. And our subscriber said she wasn't having any of that, so she left. And that's that on that. Now we can have a brief aside, because I went out of my Discord and into someone else's Discord, not Themis's, to ask the question, does anyone have any horror dating stories? And anyone did have horror dating stories. Anyone did. Let's see what they said. Let's see. What is this? Text for ants? Does anyone have any horror dating story with receipts? Nobody had receipts, but there was a story. She says, I blurred out the names because I don't know the privacy on the Discord. Let me check. I think I might still have the text convos where a guy sent me nudist acrylic art thinking I would be impressed. Ick. I may also still have an email I sent to a guy I discovered was engaged and had a child after we had been talking and met up. Why did you send him an email? These might not be horror-filled, but the first guy ended up being a convicted felon with violent offenses, which I discovered when he kept harassing me after I told him I wasn't interested. That sounds like a horror story to me. All of that, discovering that this man has a wife and kids, discovering that the first guy is sending you nude art, but also he's a convicted felon. You know, that seems like convicted felon behavior. Why are you sending somebody you just met nude acrylic art? Impressive, right? No, excuse me. He put himself in witness protection. Sorry. Left his family in Kansas. Yes. Nobody be, what's it responding to? I started to question myself. It's got to be me. Nope. It's not you. I live in an area where driving is not optional and still came across 4 different men with no cars, but they supposedly had good careers. Supposedly, I'm still baffled. That's what pisses me off most. Not only did you dip, but they be doing nothing, barely getting by. Like how? It's just you, despite the fact that it's actually not just you. Like for why? Like for why? So what I found interesting about this specifically on the screen is that after she gives this account about how the first guy who she met up with was, didn't meet up with, but had convos with a guy sending nudist acrylic art, she did a background check and he turned out to be like a convicted felon. And the second guy turns out to have an entire wife and child out here on dating apps. And then the first guy, of course, the felony was for violent offenses, and he kept harassing her after. Some of the men in this Discord said, no, I don't really have a horror dating story. but I do have a horror pub hookup. I think a pub is like a bar, a British bar. But I guess once I just wanted to see what the men are going through too. So he says, once I got chatting to someone via a dating site that used to work as a lady of the night, never met up but kept her in regular contact for a few years. She once asked for money. Once asked if I'd be interested in going overseas with her, and once asked about marriage. Like I said, we never actually met in real life. I'd hardly call it a horror story. We got on fairly well for the most part. I was likely really whiny a lot of the time anyway. So that's the men's horror story. That's the men's horror story. He dated a lady of the night. Well, he didn't date her. He was chatting with a lady of the night. They never met up. She asked him for some money. And I think she asked him to go overseas with him and one time get married. So that's the men's horror story. Another man replied to the first woman we saw who was talking about the guy who ended up being a convicted felon. And he says, oh, that's actually disturbing. I guess the horror dating stories are less common with men, though they still, of course, exist. And our first man says, put simply, it's very rare for men to be at risk from women. I think this is part of why you have to do all the paranoia. You have all this paranoia about false accusations because actually being at risk of physical violence is extremely unlikely. And then the guy says, yeah, there are so few scenarios I can think of where I could actually be in genuine danger on a date, up to the point where it's hard to even imagine what that's like to have to consider your safety when dating. Worst realistic scenario for me is I have an uncomfortable date that leaves me ill, confident, and just feeling bad. So I just thought that was interesting because the men were like, my horror dating story is a lady asked for, yeah, we don't have violins yet. I'm actually looking for some sad music because y'all said my sad music wasn't very sad. Let me play it real quick. And then she asked me for money and I said no. And she said, oh, okay. Why would she do that to me? I couldn't sleep for nights. Okay. Y'all said that wasn't a scary song, so it's fine. Horror story for men is unlikely. Yeah, it didn't give me that same oomph that I felt with the one. Like for some of the people today, I've been like, I'm scared if you stop talking to this man, he's gonna pop up or do something. And then the man's like, oh, she asked me for money. So I'm jealous. Now we can get to victim number 5, our final victim. Excuse me. Our final victim. Let's see what victim number 5 has for us. This is an interaction. Looks like the man says, can I know why? You were super down yesterday, just no drinking. So it looks like she's declined him, declined like an invitation to go out and do something. She says, I'm just not interested in a relationship, to be honest. He says, and that's okay, but we're not just jumping into one. All this is two sexy people that kind of know each other more comfortable, enjoying a romantic weekend getaway from all this world BS together. Oh my goodness, ladies, aren't you tired of all this world BS? Oh, if I could just take climate change and just, if I could just take you away from all of this. Oh, anyway, let me finish what he was saying. He says he just wanted to take you on a romantic weekend getaway from all this world BS together. I know it would be the hottest and funnest thing ever. I really do want you. This can open up that relationship door. Let me pause. It cannot open up that relationship. Ain't nobody out here talking about let's go have sex in a cabin in the woods and that might potentially lead to a relationship. Stop. This can open up that relationship door, in which case we can discuss things like the 2 hot adults we are. Smiley face. For real, baby, give me a shot. She says, I'm sorry, frowny face. I don't think I can. Cool. That's the end of that interaction, I think. Yep, that's the end of that one. That's our last victim. In conclusion, oh, actually, we have to go back to victim number 2, which we will do shortly. But in conclusion, I don't feel like there was any point throughout today where I looked at the interactions between men and women or men and non-binary folk, and I said, I think it's dating apps that's causing them to act like this, or maybe it's women's standards being too high that's causing them to act like this, or maybe it's modern feminism that's causing men to act like this. And this is the problem with the dating world, dating apps. Because I feel like there was no viewer who sent me anything where they were like, I just hate Tinder so much. Well, there were some people who were like, I hate Tinder, but the reason they hate it is because of who's on it. So it's not necessarily the app itself. It's just that y'all are out here doing what y'all are doing on these apps. I was about to say something else that I don't feel like it's appropriate to say. That same person sent a different person who said, actually, I've never been with a black girl in my life. Hopefully that's not racist to say. That's all she sent me. Just that screenshot, not even the rest of the conversation. But I feel like that's enough. That's actually like we have enough from there. Do you guys think we have enough with this? I've never actually been with a black girl in my life. Hopefully that's not racist to say. Hopefully that's not racist to say. Let's see if we can get a little bit more about this gentleman. So here's the profile. Why you should swipe right. Do you want some good sex? No? Then you've come to the right guy. Okay, so a little self-depreciation. He also says he's 6'9". He swears. Okay. Let's go through a little bit more. About me. Now, I've never seen a dating profile set up like this. So is this just how you guys communicate? I feel like you would just put up pictures and then a brief bio in the description, as opposed to all of your pictures being like explanations of stuff. But hey, it's cool. Why did he go to racist? That's a good question. Why did he go to that? He says, I'm in my first year of nursing. I like drinking. My liver says I like it too much. I go hard and have no regrets while doing it. See figure 1-1 for evidence. Okay, let's look at, can we all see the picture here? That is figure 1-1. I pretty much just watch Netflix, eat, sleep, then study in that order. But what else do you really need? The effort I've put into this PowerPoint, oh, okay, it's a PowerPoint, is more than I put into studying all year. So I know where my priorities are. Looks like we have a little jokester. I enjoy a joke myself. And that's what this is. It's a good joke. Okay, let's look at it a little bit more. The pros. Oh boy. I have a cute dog. Okay. My mom thinks I'm very handsome. I have a deep knowledge on the cooking of frozen chicken strips. I have a cute dog. See figure 2-1. I always say please and thank you. I will take very basic pictures with you. Please see figure 2-1 for evidence. You're probably more attractive than me, so I'll make you look great in photos. Cool. Let me see if I can pull up the next slide of the PowerPoint, because I want to see the cons. I live in a dorm room. They don't allow my dog to stay in the dorm room with me. My cooking skills extend to chicken strips, grilled cheese, and pretty much nothing else. I'm pretty broke, so don't be expecting anything other than a McDonald's date. Nah, that's about it. Just swipe right. Please look at my dog. Okay. His dog that doesn't live with him, but he uses it online for clout. Also, he can't cook, and you better not expect nothing other than a McDonald's date. He is in college, so maybe this is just what the college girlies are dealing with. In conclusion, pretty much the only reasons you would have to swipe right, besides my incredibly good looks, are my dog, how cool I am, my dog, and your pity for me for having put all this effort in a desperate attempt to get swiped on. Also, the women all love me. See figure 5-1. And we have figure 5-1 here. And all the women love me. You should too. And that was Parker. He is 6'9", he swears. And that was his dating profile. So that was from Raz. She did not come up to explain. Gotta be a troll? Nope, that's a real dating profile. I mean, maybe he is a troll. I feel like I troll from time to time. I engage in niggatry from time to time, and let me just look up my own dating profile real quick, because mine don't look like that. I like telling jokes, but that felt rough. That felt kind of rough to get through. I don't know. Did you guys feel focus on school sounds like a catch? McDonald's ain't all that inexpensive. Look, McDonald's without the app, McDonald's without the app is no corny. Apps are giving the opportunity to show their true selves unabashedly. So interestingly enough, I do feel like people, when they feel like they have more anonymity, I hope that's how you say that word, they will be more likely to be like closer to their true feelings. Whereas if these people were meeting you in person, they might put on more of a facade because it's not as acceptable to do these things. But that was Parker. I think he's also the one who said, I've never actually been with a black girl in my life. Hopefully that's not racist to say. So that's the dating pool. We were supposed to keep this at 2 hours. It is 2 hours and 42 minutes. If any of you have anything to say about what we just went through, feel free to come up now. Okay, that's not the same person. The person who said, I've never actually been with a black girl in my life, hopefully that's not racist to say, is not Parker. So Parker is safe. Don't worry. Parker with the PowerPoint presentation is safe for now. Can I just ask, how do you guys feel about, wait, let me put a poll in the chat. I need to know, would you date Parker? Parker with the PowerPoint. Would we date Parker? I think this is a better picture. Why you should swipe right. Kenny says, my boy Parker. 86% of you, the 12% who said, yes, I would date Parker. I have questions. You're safe here. I'm not answering that. That was an answer. Ghosting is an answer. Parker is more than safe. He's a worm. I don't know what that means. 14% of you said you would date Parker. 86% said you wouldn't. I have questions. This isn't an attack. Parker's 18. We got you. I screenshotted who voted for what. We got you. Disgusting. So again, this presentation was about what's ruining modern dating. And I feel like there's a common theme in this video about what is ruining modern dating. And I don't feel like what's ruining modern dating is the dating apps. Because when I look at Parker in his PowerPoint presentation, I feel like the only chance Parker would have is on a dating app. I don't feel like Parker is approaching people. I don't feel like he's what do they call it? Rizzing up the baddies. I feel like Parker is probably socially awkward. Nothing wrong with that. And the only place that he probably has a chance is on Tinder or somewhere else. And we saw how much of a chance he has on Tinder. 86%. Now that's interesting. 86% of you said you wouldn't date him. 85. 85 no, 14% yes. That doesn't add up to 100. So who voted for? Somebody had to have voted for. Interesting. But yeah, Parker, I don't feel like Parker would stand a chance in person. If this is how he fares on the internet, I don't know if you have a chance in person. Now, actually, I think when you're in person, you have a chance to be around people for a more extended period of time, and you can wow somebody with your personality, whatever type of personality y'all feel like Parker has. Maybe he could wow somebody with it in class or at work where people usually meet their partner, as opposed to being online where you have to be somewhat presentable. Or maybe not, based on the stories you guys sent me. Maybe not even presentable, but just something. You have to be something. The only chance Parker has is to leave words off of his profile. He needs to just be one of those guys that just puts hi or message me. Ouch. Ouch. That's gotta hurt. You know it's gotta hurt. You would look so much better if you talk less. That's gotta hurt. Ouch. Okay, should we go back to victim number 2, or do you guys feel tuckered out for tonight? Because victim number 2 had one more thing. I think I like the format. The people who sent like, let me see if I can put it on the screen. So the people who sent like a synopsis like this, I think I actually like that better than just reading people's text messages. That way we can just get like a summary of what they have to say. Raz, you wanted to defend Parker?
No, I just wanted to say that the that the text before it was not related and that Parker was from 2018. So this is a very old screenshot. But yeah.
Okay. You don't have to explain yourself.
Okay, and let's there's another screenshot that is very recent, and I really, really want y'all to read that, and I can probably add context. You know which one.
Let me put it back
with
on.
the throw up emojis.
Okay. So, do you want me to read it, or are you just gonna let me read it and then you can explain? He says, "Can I know why you were super down yesterday, just no drinking? You said, I'm just not interested in a relationship, TBH. He says, and that's okay, but we're not just jumping into one. All this is two sexy people that kind of know each other, enjoying a romantic weekend getaway from all this world BS together. I know it will be the hottest and funnest thing ever. I really do want you. This can open up that relationship door, in which case we can discuss things like the two hot adults that we are. For real, baby, give me a shot." This is coded actually Ken from Barbie. So would you like to explain something to us?
Do you have questions?
I feel like I have questions.
Let us hear your questions.
So why did you not want to go on a weekend getaway with him, away from all this world BS? Don't you think there's a lot of BS in the world, and wouldn't you like to get away from it?
So this nigga right here, he wanted me to he basically he's been asking me out for the last 5 years, and I've been saying no. And then I said, you know what, buy my Sephora cart and I might give you a chance. And this was his reply. That basically the getaway is going to suffice. Instead of just buying me a Sephora cart, he thought that I was going to scam him. So he wanted to see me in person and then potentially spoil me. And I said no.
Wait, I feel like I just missed a critical part. A Sephora card for what?
He wanted to go out with me, and I'm like, listen, you need to spend money on me before you can get my time, because you've been asking me the last 5 years to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And he said no.
So this was like you feel pressured and you like caved, but you're like, okay, fine, but there needs to be something for. Okay, go ahead.
And then he basically proposed this getaway. As you can see, it's written very disgustingly. And yeah, I left him on red after this.
Okay, so you were like, my time costs money, and he was like, oh, okay, well, instead of spending money, how about we have sex?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I can understand.
And he was pressuring me into drink, and I don't drink.
Auntie says, in my opinion, you should never give a chance to people you've been rejecting for years.
I know. I agree. I just think this was my nightly entertainment, so I just allowed him.
Not nightly entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay, you have fans in the chat. Someone said we should go back to victim number 2 to finish up.
Yes, let us go back to victim number 2.
To finish up what victim number 2 had. Let's find and put that on the screen. Victim number 2 had a lot. Victim number 2 had a lot. Okay, let's present. Oh no, I went full screen and I couldn't see anything. There we go. Now we can go full screen. Okay. So again, the context behind this is we had started to stop talking because I was trying to distance myself, didn't like the guy, and he wanted to talk about it. So I asked if he could come closer to me. Let me pull it up on a separate screen. It's small. He says that he want to go to Lucky. They say, where's Lucky? Lucky's is too far. So they ask, are you in Brooklyn right now? He says, yes. So they say, I'm at Black Cat. You're more than welcome to come here, or we can meet in the middle. He says, I'm already in Brooklyn, which is out of my way as a default, and I don't know if I want to go out of my way further for someone else's convenience. And they say, yeah, I definitely get the inconvenience of going to another borough. I don't understand the inconvenience because you wanted my time, and I didn't want your time. And I specifically said, I no longer want to talk to you. And you said, let's meet up in person and talk about it. And I reluctantly agreed. And now you're like, this is too far. Yeah, we did read this one, but I thought it was connected to these. It might not be, but I thought it was. So let's continue. Oh, I lost track. There we go. I found it. So looks like they're planning a date. Cool. They say, I don't know, something like 7. He says, Jesus, when did you wake up? And they say like 1-ish. He says, I need a pillow pet. I need a pillow pet. Huh. He says, I need a pillow pet. Come cuddle so I can sleep better. Okay, he needs a pillow pet. They say LMFAO. I would charge more than a pillow pet. Okay, I'm here for y'all collecting y'all coin from people who are audacious. Audacious. Please clip that for weirds like me that just get the giggles every time you're sitting there presented as you are presenting saying Black Cat. I don't know what that means. I'll go back to it though. I would charge more than a pillow pet. Cool, I'm here for it. No shade. But going to the city blows, especially without a bike. He says, girl, I would only pay if I was rich, old, and lonely. LMAO. Okay, well, why are you here if you're not going to pay and you're begging me to come cuddle? And I'm like, that's going to cost some coin. Are you? I think this might have been a professional cuddler. Yep. Okay. Which I look, if I could quit my job anyway. He says, I took a sleep aid to knock me the F out. I need my brain to chill. They say, what do you use? He says, Vicodin and vodka. Let me look up Vicodin because I don't know why Viagra just came to mind. Okay, it's pain medication. Got it. An opioid, sometimes called a narcotic. Okay. Okay, Vicodin and vodka. Just kidding, just kidding. Oh, I didn't read that. Just regular stuff. They say LMFAO. Wait, maybe that's what I need. He says the NyQuil sleep aid. I probably need cuddles, but whatever. I probably need cuddles, but whatever. Okay. She says rude. LMFAO. I'm a professional cuddler now and trying to get my service for free. I'm jelly. I can't really do sleep aids. Okay, so this is a professional cuddler, and this man is trying to. Anyway, he says LMFAO. If only I fell asleep at 5 a.m. Couldn't sleep, so yay. They say, so why are we like this? He says, I think I need cuddles. I think I need cuddles or ass to eat. Midnight snack before bed. Midnight snack before. Hold up. My bad, I read it wrong. I think I need cuddles or ass to eat. Midnight snack before bed. LMFAO. Oh. They say LMAO. I thought you weren't supposed to eat 3 hours before you go to sleep. He says, girl, those are empty calories, LMFAO. She says, nah, the sweetness comes from all the carbs. And then let me see. The final one. She says, like legit. Oh, okay, nice. He says, X was a twink. Yeah. What about you? We're not dating, LMAO. Let me Google what that is. Slim build and youthful appearance. Okay. So his ex had a slim build and a youthful appearance. And what about you? We're not dating. They say, so what would you call him? He says, I don't know. He's just a regular dude. He's not a twink by definition. Not really a twonk. Let me Google twonk. Let me see what twonk is. Twonk. This is a real word. It was not a misspell. A young, hunky, muscular, attractive homosexual man. It also says, has the face of a twink with the physique of a hunk. Okay, now we know. Sounds like a drug addict. I think these are two males. Yeah, one's male, one's non-binary. So, X was he's not really a twunk. They say no, but you're trying to get me to spread my cheeks. He says, I don't know. They say LMFAO. He says, no. They say, remember that thing I said about being delusional? LMFAO. Wait, for real. Okay. The context here is apparently after telling him he has to pay for the cuddle services, suddenly they're considered full of myself, not that pretty, and not enough for him to want to EMA anymore. Does EMA stand for eat my? Never mind. It's fine. But that's the context. He says, my point is, you're not in my radar in the sense of how others are. Example, regular F buddies, boyfriends, etc. They say, oh yeah, I would hope you're not trying to make me a regular or a BF. Because like, whatever. He says, definitely not. This feels passive aggressive back and forth. They say, yeah, never mind. He says, yeah, we're not compatible in that sense. LOL. You're fine in small doses. So I need to understand, wait, I feel like this text thread could have been cut short much earlier. I wouldn't even be at the point where somebody is telling me, oh, I'm only good in small doses. I'm not like good to be around a lot. Anyway, they say, I know, I think I told you once I've been treated really well, not even money-wise. So why should I want someone who's rude to me? You're not always rude, they say, but you act a certain way sometimes, no offense. He says, yeah, I realize I get along better with non-twinks. They say, love that for you. He says, same. I was like, no, they're all clones to an extent, and it's not my jam anymore, LMFAO. They say, and yeah, that makes sense. They're all either super kind or super cunty, and neither are for you. He says, I get it, and I'm Twinkie AF. They say, OMFG. He says, but opposites attract, LMAO. They say, I went to the Metropolitan with Kenny. That feels like Kenny needs to come up and start explaining. He says, you're full of it, LMFAO. They say, that's the thing about people who try so hard to be underground. The amount of mental backflips you have to do to prove to yourself you're deep. I'm like, oh, yikes, okay. Also, you're right, and I ain't even make it to dessert. He says, not what group they're in. I'm talking about vanity in general, not what group they're in. I'm talking about vanity. Oh, he double texted the same thing. He must have been upset. He said, wow, my text went crazy. And they end by saying, hope your phone's okay, but yeah, to imagine that because someone is vain that there is nothing more to them is pretty basic. Like Oscar Wilde talked about that over 100 years ago. Really thought society was past projecting their own, and then it's cut off. That's the end of victim two's text messages. So to summarize, it looked like things were going okay until they said, my cuddling is not free. And then there was like what felt like a lot of passive aggressiveness, and then a very overt statement where it's like, you're not worth paying for your cuddling. So that ends victim 2. And now we are at the end of the live stream. I'm going to play my little interlude. Y'all know we're going to exit with some memes, and then we can get out of here. Thank you for watching, and be sure to leave a like. Okay, so I saved the spicy stuff for the ending. Not more messages or stuff like that. But I'm talking about memes. I'm talking about memes. First, before we get into the fun time, what did you guys learn? Here, I'll make one final poll. One final poll. I'm just curious to know what the answers to this will be. So I'll wait for you guys to vote on that. But what I feel like I learned today, this is all anecdotal, of course. This isn't a legitimate study on dating practices and such like that. But based on what I've seen on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, any other social media, as well as just the personal stories that you guys have sent me, it feels like there's something wrong with men. It feels like there's something wrong with men. And based on the research we looked at earlier, there appears to be a phenomenon amongst men. What's STG? I think swear to God. I just got a weird message. Okay. So it feels like there's a phenomenon amongst men where there's like difficulty interacting with women. There's difficulty interacting with other men. There's a type of, I don't know what to call it besides audacity. I learned nothing. I didn't learn anything from y'all messages except what I already knew. So maybe we didn't learn anything. Maybe we just reiterated what we already knew. It feels like the dating app is not what's causing all the degeneracy that I saw today, right? We see the man who's smacking the egg on his wife's face, who is pregnant and then squirting water in her face and just embarrassing, and he's like, ha ha, laughing while she's sitting there in shock. And then the man who's like chopping up all the girls' makeup, and he's like, this was to teach you a lesson. I didn't see one dating app in this video. I didn't see one feminism. I didn't see a feminist. I didn't see any of it, because all I saw was men who were doing some stuff and who need to improve. And men who don't wash their bed sheets only once every 4 months. Only once every 4 months. So I know people call this bashing. Like when we looked at the bed sheet study, remember when the men themselves said, we don't wash our bed sheets. They reported it to that study. That's where the study comes from. The men's own reports of how often they wash bed sheets. We have research around washing your bed sheets. You have all types of dust mites and all types of skin cells and dirty oils and hair falling out. And you are just sitting in that for 4 months until you change your bed sheets. This is unhealthy. It's recommended you do it once a week. I think the average person does it once every 2 to 3 weeks. So after the men themselves said, we only wash our bed sheets every 4 months, and people started collectively saying, that's disgusting. You should wash your bed sheets more. The men said, you're shaming us. Why are you shaming? Okay, but why do you have to shame us? I don't know what to. I don't know what to do. I actually don't know what. I don't know how to get the message across without feeling shaming. But like, wash your bed sheets. Or the man who like showers with water. He doesn't use soap. He doesn't use a rag or towel. He doesn't use a brush. He showers with water. And his girlfriend is like, you need to use soap when you wash. And the people in the comments were like, why is she shaming him? They should just have a private conversation about this. Or the man who can't pay for the date, and he wants to impress his friends. So he's like, the woman needs to pay for me in front of them. That way I can maintain my manhood. It's like, I don't know how to get my message across without feeling like I'm shaming somebody. Because if I'm like, wash your bed sheets, I'm shaming. If I'm like, use soap, I'm shaming. If I'm like, maybe you shouldn't like goad your wife into paying for your date that you can't afford. Maybe you should just be like, I can't afford it, guys. My wife can pay this time, because it's okay to let a woman pay for the date if you guys are married, instead of having her see. Why is she paying for you, but you're taking the credit? I don't like that. I don't like that. Either let her pay and take the credit, or pay for it yourself. But why are you sneaking around? Maybe like just let her have the credit. I feel like that's okay. How do I do this without men saying I'm shaming them? Because I don't feel like I'm shaming. I feel like I'm calling out very overt and in my face behavior that I see as wrong. And I'm trying to get men to address this behavior, and they're like, no, stop shaming. Amber James, thank you for the $20. I learned online dating is permanently set on hard mode. For who? I feel like it's on hard mode for everybody. No, actually, no. I feel like online dating is. So remember when we look at one of the first, I think Cantor, we look at one of the first victims, quote unquote victims, and the guy was like, what are you looking for? She was like, what are you looking for? He was like, I'm looking for a relationship, but maybe we could go on a date and see where it goes. And she's like, oh wow, I love a man who's forward, and like, yeah, sure. And then his very next message is like, let me suck up on them juicy lips. I feel like if it's on hard mode, it's not the app that's making it hard mode. It's not the app. I feel like before you said, let me suck up on them juicy lips, I feel like you were doing okay. Okay, that wasn't yours. My bad. That was someone else's. I forgot whose it was. But like before that point, everything was going so well. So it feels like online dating could be easy mode, but it feels like men are shooting themselves in the foot. And then after that, they're like, oh, it was feminism. It was feminism, and it was feminism and what the dating app. If I only had if only this was in person. If only I was in person, then I could harass them in person and there would be no barrier. I don't know. I don't know what they plan to do in person, but they don't want the dating apps. Anyway, we can get into these memes now. It's fine. We can get into these memes. All my mom heard was suck up on them juicy lips. Yep. I joined at the wrong time. Let's close out, guys. Let's see what Beyonce has to say to us.
What's your name?
Anthony Costa hyphen no.
I'm gonna keep going back to this meme like every few months. I can't escape it. It's gonna come back in my feed in the next couple months, and then again, and then again, and again. And I'm not upset. I'm not upset. We don't need to review that anymore. We don't need to review that anymore. The meme spoke for itself. Say my name. Say my name. Let's look at the next piece of evidence. I have no idea why I find something like this funny. Okay. And now let's go to our last piece of evidence. Our last piece of evidence. Here we have a gentleman. Hopefully you can all see. Wait, I don't know why I find this so funny. I have no idea why I find this so funny. Let's do a breakdown real quick. Because I didn't see this the first time. I remember you were there. Why is Kenny everywhere for all people? Kenny, why are you all things for all people? So he spit on the man. First of all, let me pause. The disrespect. The disrespect. So the door is closing and you between the door, knowing that this person has no way to get out to get you back. I am appalled and disgusted by this behavior. Let's watch more. Now, can I pause and say, I don't know what train doors are made out of, but I feel like a man should not be able to peel the muffin cap back blue off of the train doors. I don't feel like you should be able to do that. So clearly, these train doors are either fragile and weak, or this man is incredibly strong. And regardless of which one of those it is, whether the door is weak or the man is strong, I feel like you should be standing right there. Why are you standing right? And I was scared that you spit in the door and then he sticks his hand out and the train door opens again because they want to make sure nobody's caught in the door and he can get you. But no, this man decided that he doesn't care what a door is. He doesn't care what two doors are. He's going to separate them. He doesn't care if it's made out of reinforced steel or if it's attached to a 3,000 pound locomotive. 3,000 pounds. This thing is probably 30,000 pound locomotive. He about to peel the muffin cap back blue. That's what he's about to do. And you are standing there still. Why? He just looks. I'm sorry. I've never insulted a person's appearance before, but he just looks stupid. Look at him. Why? Because stupid is as stupid does. And this is what stupid does right now. Let's continue. Let's pause right here. So after the Hulk decided to rip open the side of the train, everyone in New York City knows you can pry those doors open. Foolish. Okay, so this isn't the Incredible Hulk, and the doors aren't made out of vibranium. The doors are not made out of vibranium. I'm still going to call him the Incredible Hulk, because if I see somebody ripping train doors open, maybe I'm just not a New Yorkian yet. But if I see somebody ripping something open that's made of metal, I'm not sitting around to find out, especially if I'm the person that caused them to be doing that. And I can't hear, but I feel like what the guy inside the train is saying right now is, I'm gonna get you once I get out of you, though. I know he's just saying something. And your ass went back up to the Hulk, who is ripping open these doors, and decided to do what caused him to rip open those doors again and spit in his face. Who are you? Who are you? Anyway.
He did it. Oh,
Now let's take a moment to appreciate. Why is he not running? That's a good question. It's a 3-door night. Let's take a moment to appreciate the use of audio in this clip here. A wee mo. Yes. Because who do you think you are? How conceited do you have to be to spit on somebody twice and you just standing there? Why were you even standing to be able to spit on them the second time? Why did you spit on them? Leave people alone. Why are you assaulting people? Isn't spitting assaulting? Leave people alone. Where's my graph? Where's my goddamn graph? Let me see if I can put this on screen and we can end here. If I can find this, we can end right here. We can end right here, y'all. I just found it. I'm about to put it on screen now. Because I found that chart. I think it's very useful. So I did want to put that on screen. I feel like we can always have a educational aspect to our streams. And we want to really look at these situations from a place of teaching as opposed to chastising someone. So as we can see from this graph here, we have the find out line and we have the F around line. Now, the teacher in the presentation, what you can see, he's drawing a line from finding out to where it intersects with effing around, where if you notice, finding out, at the top of finding out, it intersects with the top of effing around. What it seems to be suggesting here is that the more you F around, the more you find out. And inversely, and this is important, if you never F around, you're never going to find out. And I think that's very important. So to the gentleman in the video, I'm not sure when your funeral is going to be, but maybe we can attend an online vigil or something like that. I want to see the beatdown. There was none. It ends right there, and I think it ends at a perfect spot. So those were the 3 memes I'm going to show you. That's what happens when you F around and find out. Must have gotten Donkey Kong. They couldn't even put the rest of the video on here. They might have gotten a strike. Let me see what them comments say. The comments suck. It's just people tagging their friends. I hate that. But thank you everybody for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you haven't already. I'm looking at the poll now. It looks like 59% of you said no. 41% of you said yes. The question was, what did you learn? So no. No is what we learned. No, we did not learn. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're not already. My name is Prince Petty. Good night.